Okay, we are live. Hey, you guys. Oh my God, everybody is in the chat right now. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
We are all here. Welcome, you guys. How many in the chat, Bree? I know you can probably see.
I'm trying to have it pull up on my side. It hasn't pulled up. Looks like 33.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, and look like the YouTube notification just went out.
Yeah, I just got mine.
Yep. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started because I know everybody is on pins and needles and is chomping off at the bit to get started with, especially Bold. I got to say, Young and the Restless to me was slow this week, especially Thursday's episode. I didn't even do a recap for Thursday because I just wasn't interested. I'm not gonna fake the funk on that one. I'm like, forget it. I just do Bold for Thursday. I'm sorry if any of you guys were looking for the Thursday recap. I was like, please. Anyway, welcome you all to Soap Corner Talk, where it's myself, T. I got Trish, I got Bree, and I got Keisha online. The whole gang is here.
Hi, y'all.
Yeah, we all had to be here. This is like a special victims unit episode. Honestly, I feel so triggered by all of this.
I know it is insane. I would have never expected to see what we saw on Bold at the end of that episode. We got a lot to talk about that. So we're gonna get through Young and the Restless as fast as we can because, like I said, it was a slow week. I don't know about the rest of you all, but yeah, for me, it was a snooze. I gotta say, Friday's episode wasn't that bad though.
I agree. Yeah.
It wasn't okay. Too bad. Yeah, it was all right. It was better than yesterday. So, all right. So, all of my newbies in the chat. First of all, I'm gonna do something different. Drop in the chat what state you're from. I want to know where you guys are from. Are you from the United States? Are some of you guys abroad? Even if you're not in the United States, say what town or province or country you're in. I want to know who and where you're from. So go ahead and drop that in the chat. Otherwise, here on Soap Corner Talk, we do both the Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful. This is going to be for the week of August 12th through the 16th. And we do the Young and the Restless, the first half of the show, Bold and the Beautiful, the second half of the show. And then we have 4 segments, Flip the Script, Who's Taking Several Seats, our Star of the Week, and the Pickle of the Week. And oh my God, look at this. We got everything from California, Miami, Indiana, Georgia, Pittsburgh, Louisiana, Chicago, Georgia, let's see, Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, San Diego. Oh my gosh, y'all are all over the place. Happy to see all of you guys. Janet's from Kentucky. We got Maryland in the house. Ottawa, Canada. Okay.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, Maryville, Philadelphia. Nice, nice, nice. I'm glad that you are all here, and especially some of you guys that has been riding and dying with us. I want to say it like that, but you guys that have been here since the inception of, well, the podcast, because some of the podcast folks came over from the Spotify side and say, I'll just watch it on YouTube. We've been doing that for 5 years. And then YouTube side started in 2022. So thank you guys every week that you come in and join us, and also on the midweek chat, because we've been doing that lately, Bree and I. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with the Young and the Restless first. I'm going to do a summary, and then we're going to break all these storylines down. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yep. Who was that in the background saying, yep?
That was me.
Oh, that's Bree. Okay, I'm like, you sound like you in the distance back there, but that's cool.
I was turning on the light. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. All right, so for the Young and the Restless, For the week of August 12th through August 16th, Kyle's infuriated by Summer's refusal for joint custody. Adam won't attack Billy, so Victor asks Michael to get dirt on Billy. Nikki offers Claire a job, and Lily's annoyed by Billy's flipping and Phyllis's interference. Chance talks Summer into compromise. Billy questioned Alan about his intentions with Tracy, and Claire makes a monumental decision. Billy and Sally overhear Chelsea talking about cheating with Adam, and Cameron Kirsten tells Sharon they need some time alone. And then for Friday, Billy confronts Chelsea as Sally begs Adam to come clean, and Summer has a conniption at Phyllis for accusing her of jealousy.
Per usual.
Yeah, as usual. All right, where y'all want to start? You know what? Let's get Sharon out the way because that's yeah. So I mean, overall, in my opinion, I think the storyline sucks. I mean, no shade to Lyndon Ashby and Sharon Case because they're great actor and actress. I just don't like the storyline. What about you guys?
Not a bit. It's just, I don't know where it's going.
Right.
Anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not interesting all that much anymore. Unless they're going to do the Cassie remake, they need to kind of speed that up a little bit. Not to say that I don't appreciate Sharon Case's acting. She's a talented actress. Of course. Absolutely. I just would like for this to have a little bit more momentum. That's all.
Yeah. What you got, Trish?
For me, it's just like it looks painful to play the part right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's forced. It is and I know that whenever there's a mental breakdown taking place, that it is not a pleasant thing, and it's not going to flow or anything like that. But I guess what I mean by it, what my original comment is that it's not. It's just not. It doesn't flow. I don't even know how else to say it. I can't even find the word. And y'all know me. I'm full of it, and I can't find the word. So I don't know.
What about you, Keish? Is she there? Oh, there she is.
I'm here. Yeah. I have no clue what's going on with Sharon, so I can't comment on it. Yeah. I saw the one scene where Faith and I was about to call her Cassie. Mariah were at the house, and I can't even remember what they were asking her or talking to her about. She kind of snapped, and then what's his name shows up, and then she kind of corrects herself because he tells her she needs to calm down, or else she's going to get people worried that she's losing it or something like that. But because I haven't kept up with YNR too much. The last couple of weeks, I don't really know what's happening other than she's having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with this. Kind of like Bree said, what's the end goal with this storyline?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because originally, I think like Bree was thinking, oh yeah, something's going to happen to Faith, maybe with the whole Sharon thing. But what are we doing with this? Now he's being her conscience all of a sudden. This is the same man that terrorized her last year and that she stabbed. And then he came back bloody shirt and all and is a part of her conscience telling her how to move, what to say, how to act or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, how long are we going to continue to get this? Now, from what I understand, for the week of August 19th, she's supposed to get worse. But they've been saying that periodically every spoiler week. Sharon is going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And I'm like, she's still talking to Cameron Kirsten at this point.
Yeah. Is she even seeing her therapist? I mean, she says she is, but is she? Is she even taking her medication, or is she just sticking it in her tongue and then spitting it out? I mean, what's really happening? They need to give us something.
She said that she stopped taking her medication last week when I think Nick, Faith, and Mariah confronted her. She was like, you know what? It's okay. I want to feel how I want to feel, and I want to go through the motions and really deal with my problems without the medication. I'm paraphrasing, guys, but I think that's what she was saying.
Well, but was it yesterday she said, oh, it's just the medications balancing out and changing them. So what is it? Is she on medication or is she not?
Right.
Exactly. I think they're confused on what they want to do with her. I'm just a little, I don't want to say bored, but just, I would just like to know the direction it's going to go in, because I know this is a talented actress who can really play her part no matter what you give her.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's leading to nowhere, that's just unfortunate for the actress.
Exactly. Yeah. I totally agree. And I'm thinking, okay, so we've been talking about even that video that I did a week ago about the lackluster storylines over the past 2 years, especially with the uptick of mental health storylines. It's like, okay, I know that they hit it kind of out of the park with Ashley, because it was a little bit of humor. Then they had the three personalities is split, and we got a little comedy out of it, even though it was, a DID awareness type storyline. I'm thinking they were hoping that, this situation would fall in that same category, and it's doing the opposite.
Yeah.
If there was like space in, I'm sorry.
No, you go.
I was going to say, if there was like space in between the Ashley storyline and the Sharon storyline, give us a minute to kind of breathe. Like during the summer, let it be light and funny, and then towards like the end of the year, then focus on Sharon's story. That I feel like that could have helped a little bit, but it's like back to back to back of Ashley, then what's going on with Connor, and then Sharon, and
Mm-hmm.
Bree, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yep.
Oh, we in sync.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I just, at this point, I'm not even interested in that storyline. It's not, number one, it's slow moving, because she's been spiraling out of control and getting worse for the last, month now? 6 weeks it's been going on. And then first she was seeing Cassie. Then she was seeing Nicholas kissing her in the park. And then Cameron showed up, and he's been hanging around for the last couple weeks. So, I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea. I wish that maybe if they were going to bring Sharon back, give her something different. They gave her a whole company. She has a psych degree. She runs a company, a tech company, and she runs a coffee house. It's like, what do you want her to do?
Yep.
So.
Yeah. What happened to Esther? Esther just disappeared.
Listen, maybe her and Charlie took off somewhere, remember?
Oh, too funny. I forgot about that. Because Pammy was alone at the party.
Yes, she was. It was nice to see Pam back, too.
It was.
Yeah. Very nice.
Belinda Hill says Sharon's gaslighting Faith and Mariah about her meds. So I'm wondering, because I know what you're talking about, Trisha, yesterday's episode, when she was saying, yeah, I'm just, I started taking my medicine again. I'm just trying to balance it and to get back in my system. I don't think she's taking them. Because part of her taking the medication, she probably will be fading Cameron out.
One would think.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are powerful meds.
Right. Exactly. All right, let's move on from Cameron Kirsten. Let's talk about the whole situation that's going on with Adam, Chelsea, Sally, and Billy.
Ooh, that's gonna blow up next week.
Man, I'm not surprised that this is happening. I know Bree and I have talked about this before. About the fact that how they started out with each other. That's where it ends up.
How you start is how you finish.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I used to think Adam and Chelsea were very smart people. They're just openly having their conversations about the affair, like in limos and parks where people can hear you. The boy could have heard them. The fact that Sally and Billy were just like basically fed that information. Like, I was thinking that, okay, maybe she'll end up pregnant and they'll keep the secret until, they figure out who the father is. I don't know. I wasn't expecting for all of this to come out in especially Sally towards the end, she was like, you need to be honest with me. What's going on with you guys?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was just very weird on the writing part.
Yep. What you got, Trish?
I just don't. First of all, y'all know that I do not like Chelsea and Adam together at all. I find the Chelsea character insufferable. So whenever she's, crying when Billy asks her about it at the table at the end of this week, it's like, girl, just be honest for once in your. Have you ever just outright just been honest? I look back at the way her character has been all these years. She is always either hiding something, lying about something, cheating about something, or being mean to somebody else about something when she should be being nice. I don't understand. I don't like the character of Chelsea. And of course, that means the actress is doing an amazing job. Because, the whole way she came onto the show, y'all know I was not a fan of that at all.
Right.
And I can't stand the fact that she's with Billy either because of how they were together. It's just, to me, there's a psychological issue with being with the person who
you graped.
Yes. Thank you.
I got you. Yep.
So just not a fan of Chelsea.
What about you, Keish?
I'm surprised that this has been drug out this long. Like I knew for sure that Sally and Billy were going to find out about those two sleeping together. So I feel like it's just been Chelsea on eggshells and pins and needles, like trying to keep her composure as far as them finding out. And Adam, to me, has just been acting weird with Sally. It's like he's not focused anymore. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what the fallout would be, because I feel like Adam and Sally will be okay, but I don't think Billy and Chelsea will make it through.
I did see the Monday episode, and a little bit of the spoiler alert. Chelsea is going to try to ask Billy to take a break. And, that doesn't help, because it only makes him more suspicious. You know what I mean? And, she's struggling to keep this a secret. Now, this is the same woman, and I think, Bree, you mentioned this in the past, about her being one of the biggest cons on the show.
Right. All she knows how to do is lie. That's why Victor felt that she was a great employee at one point. But you can't even just pick up a simple, interaction and feel like, okay, I need to play it cool. I need to do this. I need to do that. She's frantic in every single episode.
Yeah.
Like she's about to break down. I'm like, who needs the help, Connor or you?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I get it, she want to be honest, but it just don't fit the character. You know what I'm saying? It'll be
no. You're right.
It doesn't fit the character. Chelsea came onto the show as a schemer. She was the one that was setting this whole thing in motion with Chloe to set up Adam and end up poisoning Ray. You know what I'm saying? And now she's scared of her own shadow right now. So, I don't know. But I have a feeling it's going to blow up. They talked about it on Monday in regards to the fact that maybe they should say something because it's eating them up. But knowing the writers, they're probably going to drag it out. So.
Well, I think back to Adam, and Adam actually was raised with morals and integrity because of Hope and being on the farm and all of that. Now, of course, we've got this Adam and the business and the dad side and all of that. But I really honestly think he'll be the one to tell the truth first. I could be wrong.
Oh no, he's really gaslighting Sally like crazy on Monday.
I didn't see Mondays. Is he? Oh gosh, and that's gonna really tick me off.
Because it's one thing because the thing is, Sally is also a schemer, so she knows when somebody's lying or when they're up to something, and she knows something's off. And for him to say, "I don't know what you're talking about," You don't, I'm not doing anything. So now she's questioning her reality on the fact of whether or not her intuition is right on this. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this thing is getting out of hand, and it just needs to blow up and let the pieces fall where they may. If they don't end up together, they don't end up together. But I honestly think they're Kim testing Sally and Billy.
A lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would y'all want a Sally and Billy coupling?
I'm still on the fence, but I don't know. I really don't know, but they're definitely force feeding it. I will say that.
Mm-hmm. What about
I
y'all,
wouldn't mind it.
Trisha? Go ahead, Keish.
I wouldn't mind seeing Sally and Billy give it a try.
Okay.
I just don't want to see Billy and Lily again.
Yeah.
No, I'm over that. Yeah.
And we got to talk about them too. I maybe because they haven't been together as of yet since they've been on the show. And Sally is a little feisty. You got bad boy Billy, so it might be something hot with that. But I guess. What
I'm
you
not
say,
sure.
Trish?
I mean, you heard me sigh heavily, didn't you? So, in the picture that you have on the YouTube shot right there of the two of them standing behind Chelsea and Adam, that's a great looking couple. Yeah, I mean, obviously. But at the same time, I'm thinking, do we have to be with someone else? Like, can nobody work anything out? Like, I mean, and y'all know I'm a huge Adam and Sally fan, and then I tried not to be, but I was lying to myself. I really did want them to get back together. I mean, y'all know I was. You heard it in my voice. I really wanted them to work this time, and I kind of had like a sick to my stomach feeling whenever Sally grieved alone on the annual anniversary. It really. It was tough to watch, but I really, really do want them to work out. And Sandra just said, "I wish Sally would go back to Bold." And you know what? I actually thought that too for a little while because they've kind of screwed her character up on Y&R. I want that grit. I want her to know what she knows and know that she's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Sally on The Young and the Restless seemed watered down to me.
Yeah.
When she was on Bold, she was supposed to be her namesake 2.0 legacy or whatever. And she came over there with the fire of being a designer, and she kind of stirred up a little bit of a few things between the Spencer men, Liam and Wyatt, that whole thing. And that was great. And then they decided to move over to Young and the Restless, and it's just been watered down.
And what kills me about that is it was for Wyatt and Flo to get together, and then they disappeared.
Exactly.
That was frustrating.
I mean, the girl had a whole. Oh, who's that talking? Was that Keish? Did somebody just try to chime in?
That wasn't me.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't me.
Okay. All right.
Nope.
Yeah, she had a whole storyline where she faked that illness of having what was it, like a neuro disease or something, and was walking around in a walker and all this kind of stuff. And Wyatt started taking care of her, and she ended up handcuffing Flo to the radiator and all that type of stuff. And like you say, as soon as they found out she was faking, she was ostracized. They put Flo back with Wyatt, and then Wyatt and Flo disappeared. It was like, why did you go through all that to put felon Flo back with Wyatt, or in order for them to just ride off into the sunset?
Yep, and everybody at Forrester could have forgiven her because, I mean, Stephanie faked a heart attack, for crying out loud. Come on.
Yeah.
People fake all kinds of stuff.
I wouldn't mind seeing something feisty with Bill and Sally.
I was hoping they would go that direction. When they didn't want to bring her back onto Bold, I was so upset because that needed to happen. Because he tried to take away her building, she tried to take away this and that, and it's like there was almost like pent up tension with those two. I wanted follow through with that, but we know how the direction the show is going.
Exactly. I mean, and she's a talented, fiery actress. Courtney Hope. I just think that she would have been better served on on the Bold and the Beautiful instead of bringing her on YNR. Because her storylines, I mean, she did get the Emmy for the loss of the baby storyline, but everything else around that, it's just been like, okay. I mean, let me back that up. 2022, a lot of people were rooting for her and Adam. They screwed that up by throwing Nick in there. So.
Yeah, and we know all about walking into that steamy room.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I'm just not holding anything back tonight, y'all. It's Friday night. Trish is ready to rumble.
Hey, listen, Trish, you know you always bring your banter. Oh, my goodness.
My apologies in advance.
Oh, please. Are you over there sipping?
Huh?
Are you over there sipping?
No, just actually tonight I'm having iced tea with lemon, and it's quite delicious, and I'm probably going to be up all night and regret it at about 2 a.m, but it's too good to put down.
Yeah, okay, well, enjoy.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm assuming that it's going to blow up. I have a feeling it's going to be Connor that actually overhears them, because they're talking in open spaces where a third party or somebody can walk up on them. So, you know what? Hey, that's what you get, and next time they're going to hear the word cheating. Somebody going to walk up on it. So, all right. We got to talk about, let's talk about the whole situation with Claire. Claire was offered a job by Nikki to come work at Chancellor. Now the thing is, she don't even have Victor hasn't even acquired the company yet.
I know. But they moving along like nothing's like, we know he's gonna get it. Let me go ahead and pick my assistants. Let me go ahead and pick out the decor for my office. I'm like, girl.
I know. I'm sitting up there like, okay. And she said that she would rather stay with Harrison. And I'm like, you would rather stay in the middle of a heated custody battle where Kyle asked you to spy. We also saw Summer ask her to spy. And it's like, I understand the little boy, he feeling guilty, but that's his parents' fault. They need to figure out what's going on. That's not the nanny's job. The nanny's job is to make sure he get to school, get his food, eat, take him out for little day trips and stuff like that. She's trying to be his therapist and everything else. What y'all think? Go ahead.
She wants to be around a child instead of interacting with adults.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway from that, because, I mean, as a matter of fact, she'll be offered way more money to be out of the drama. She'll be able to put on some clothes, for her age group.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be able to kind of move along within her adult life and have some adult experiences, but she would rather be wrapped up around a child.
Hey, man, that job comes with benefits. Use your brain.
What are you talking about, Trish?
The job at Newman comes with benefits.
I guess.
When you're a nanny for a family, you're getting paid dollars. You're not getting paid dollars in benefits and a 401k and a PTO plan and paid holidays.
Right.
Well, she won't have to worry about that anyway. She rich.
Well, now she does, but I mean, boy, she got real used to that real quick.
Gail Lewis has a question. She says, Claire decided to use her last name, use Newman instead of Howard. What do we think about that?
Ooh. I think we had touched on that a little bit when it came to Johnny and Katie, because Tori was saying they were Newmans, not Abbotts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why she doesn't hyphenate it. She can have both of the last names. I think you were talking about that the other day, T.
Right.
Abby has 40 different last names. she can go ahead and be Claire Howard Newman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why they want to just be a Newman so badly. What's wrong with being a Howard?
No recognition.
Yeah.
She's rich. She don't need a recognition. She's rich.
I would actually, looking at some of the things that have gone on in the last, 25 or 30 years, if I had that amount of money, I wouldn't be publishing my name anywhere.
Yeah,
that's scary.
I honestly, and I did talk about this on Wednesday, I honestly think she should have carried both names, Claire Howard Newman or Claire Newman Howard, whatever. And then, because she was like, oh, I'm worried what Dad would say if I don't use Howard. Okay, use both of them. I mean, like we were just saying, Abby's, oh, God, let me see if I can remember all. She's a Chancellor. She's about to be a Winters. She's a Newman. And she's an Abbott.
Yeah.
She got 4 last names. So if Abby can have 4 last names, Claire should be able to have 2.
Yep. And it's never been a problem for Abby, and she's still able to spend her money and get the recognition and everything. And I don't see what's the problem. Why Victoria is so gung-ho on making all of her children Newmans. What's wrong with the fathers of her children's last name?
I agree. What you got, Keish?
I didn't watch that scene, so.
Listen, I get it. Young and the Restless was slow this week, so I totally get it. But yeah, I don't know.
I saw one of the. I did see like them discussing her name change, but it didn't even cross my mind that that's not her dad's last name. That she's going to Newman instead of Howard. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean,
it's respectful.
Yeah,
but it's her choice.
Yeah, but I mean, she had a question mark about it. She was like, "But I don't know what Dad is." Okay, well, if you worry about what Dad's gonna say, then use both names.
Yeah, that's. I guess that's where I'm confused. Is like, why wasn't that her first choice to hyphenate the names? Like, why did you just gravitate only to the Newman name and completely disregard your dad?
Oh, dang.
And Victoria just brushed it off. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was thinking. Simone said Abby, Carlton, Abbott, Newman, Rayburn, Chancellor, and about to add Hamilton, because Devon is Hamilton and he's Winters.
Oh,
I forgot about Carlton, because originally she had Brad's last name.
She sure did.
Wow, girl, she got more last names than Jill ever did.
Didn't Devon change his name to just Winters?
Winters?
I
thought so too.
Think so.
Yeah.
Either which way, that's just like, girl. She's like, look, all these names got money too. I'm adding them all to my first name. I'm adding them all behind my first name. Yeah. I'm gonna be whoever I want to be.
That is crazy. Carlton, Abbott, Newman, Rayburn, because she was she married to Stitch? Yeah. Okay.
They were married and they tried to have a baby.
So Rayburn.
Kid,
oh yeah, the kid tripped her. Yeah, she tripped down the stairs and lost the baby. Rayburn, Chancellor. Yeah, that's all the names. Oh my goodness. Well, thanks for the reminder, Simone, because I forgot about those other 2. All right. We need to talk about Summer, because that ties into the situation. Well, Billy and Lily is a catastrophe waiting to happen. Did y'all see that preview for next week where Billy fires Lily?
Yeah, I was so happy for her.
I know you were, because you've been saying for the longest, Bree, she's only an employee.
Yeah, and she needed to come down to reality. She about to go crawl back to her brother, and go back to the company she should have been at. It's like the nerve of her saying that, well, you need to step down. Like, how dare you go against the plan that we had? I'm supposed to take control. Like, girl, You have no control. You have no say so. You have nothing. You just have your name on the door and you collect your check.
Yeah. What you got, Trish?
I agree completely. She was, quite frankly, really stupid to have not had something written in her employment agreement that gave her any kind of security. It's really, I mean, maybe she does and we just don't know it yet. And they haven't talked about it yet. I don't know, but I haven't heard anything where she's even hinted at any kind of an employment agreement.
Yeah, I mean, and even well, the reason is Billy has Jill's power, so he pretty much can fire everybody in that building if he wanted to, which
Yeah.
he had a lot of power, and so he's like, okay, you know what? Since this ain't working, your services are no longer needed. Yikes! And
I'm so happy for that. I am. I'm sorry, y'all. I am. Because even Billy was like, look, you want to talk to my mom? Because she's the one who gave me the power and control. And she even told me not to step back. So, like, what is Lily going to do?
Right. Right. What you got, Keish?
Did this firing happen this week?
No. We was talking about how they've been Billy was and Lily have been going back and forth with each other. That firing is on the Friday preview.
Oh yeah. I was also confused about that. Like I didn't understand. I guess I don't understand where either of them are coming from, because I remember watching the scene where Lily was telling him to step back, and then he said, well, why don't you step back? And then there was a scene where he was talking to Chelsea, and he was telling Chelsea that he was going to let Lily run the company, but now he's going to fire Lily.
Right.
I'm totally lost about what's going on with the two of them. But again, I have not been paying 1,000% attention to the show the last couple of weeks.
It wasn't worth it. But Chelsea was like trying to basically encourage Billy, like, look, don't listen to Lily. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Like you deserve to run the company as you should, and she's right. That was the only sane thing that Chelsea has said thus far. Because if his mom gave him the control and is saying, hey, I want you to do X, Y, and Z, that's what she intended to do. She wanted Lily to have that control or power. She would have handed it to Lily.
Right.
She has no problem with her mental capacity. She knew who she wanted. And she said she wants her son to run the company. Mm-hmm. But it won't matter because Victor's already on the move to have Nikki run it. So it's a whole different battle. And Lily's really better off going over to Winters. And she don't want to be in the mix of a war with Victor herself.
Right. I mean, technically, Billy might be doing her a favor by having her ousted. And, Devon and Nate would take her in over at Hamilton Winters. Jenna says Lily, with her nose in the air, thinks she's better than Phyllis, but Phyllis was doing her a favor too. Yeah, Phyllis did try to warn her about Billy, and I guess she'll get that answer that Phyllis tried. Now, Phyllis is a busybody.
But she's not going to listen to Phyllis.
No.
I think Jack had her right.
Yeah, I mean, that was the other thing, the conversation between Phyllis and Jack in the park, how she was trying to talk to Harrison about, because they were looking at baseball cards or whatever, and Phyllis come over there talking about all the nice things that Summer got planned for him, and Jack was irritated.
That was unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. It really was. I'm like, girl, that's overkill. I understand you want to be in the good graces of your daughter, that she forever needs to be coddled, but that was a little overboard, especially you're doing it right in front of Jack, who has enough common sense to know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And Jack had her right. He's like, look, you're bored. You got way too much time on your hands. And she does. I'm like, what is she doing for work right now?
Right. It's nothing. She doesn't have a job. She's just floating around town, like Jack said, and like you just said, with too much time on her hands. She's just causing problems. Let's kind of move into, unless y'all had anything else on that, which probably not. the whole thing with Kyle and Summer, and Victor got involved because Summer thought it was a good idea to go talk to her grandfather. And I think that was coming off of the previous week. But they did have a conversation. However, Kyle offered joint custody, which was the original agreement. She is bent on trying to keep Audra away from Harrison. And it's like, that woman don't even... First of all, they're not dating. Second of all, Audra could care less about the whereabouts of Harrison. What y'all got on that whole thing? And I know this has been an ongoing thing with Summer for a while.
It's very frustrating to watch because I still don't feel like Summer has given a logical reason as to why she feels like Audra is such a threat. Mm-hmm. Because whatever, all this, when Kyle started his spiral, mm-hmm. he was still with Jabot. Mm-hmm. He hadn't gone into business with Audra at all. Right. Like his little temper tantrums and all that stuff he was having, all that started before he started working with Audra. And it's like she's trying to attribute his behavior and him getting fired and him not getting along with his parents to working with Audra. And it's like, how? Where did you get that connection from?
Yeah, it's
like it doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't. I mean, she seemed like she's obsessed with him, with Audra being in this girl's life. Now, there is a confrontation on Monday between those two. And
I saw that.
Yeah, Audra is like, look, don't get me caught up in the middle of your nonsense, in so many words. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
It's between her and Summer, or her and Kyle?
Between Summer and Audra.
Oh, okay.
You know,
it was a pretty good scene.
Yeah. Oh, did you see?
I mean,
go ahead, Keish.
I was just gonna say, I don't blame her. She has unprovoked has brung up Audra's name in this whole custody thing, and it's like, has Audra even spoken 2 words to this little boy?
Nope.
She don't care about Harrison. Nope. She even told Kyle, "I don't want to see pictures of your kid."
Right.
Like, yeah. This just makes absolutely no sense. I feel like the writers don't know where to go with the whole Kyle, Summer, Harrison thing, and they just keep throwing in random, I don't know, just like random plot points.
Right.
That just don't add up to anything.
I agree. And I mean, it was bad enough that they decided to drop in an adoption just mid-script. Because, we were fussing about the fact for the longest time that what rights does she have? And then Victor was like, oh, you adopt him over in Italy, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, that was one thing. But then it still doesn't give, the whole idea of why she's so angry at Audra. Audra has done nothing, any way, shape, or form to give her any indication of anything. So it just don't make sense.
And plus, Audra is too selfish of a person. She doesn't give a damn about Nate. She was like, oh, you were going to fly out to come see me? Like, why would you do that? She is stuck on working and getting one over on Kyle. That's all she's stuck on. She don't care about pictures. She don't care about anything. And what she said to Summer was correct. I will give her that. And in Summer, the look on Summer's face, looking on like stupid, like, can we have our conversation, Kyle? She had nothing to come up with. She had no comeback, nothing, and it proved everything right. She's mad for the same reason that Katie was mad. She wants that man back, and she just needs to say that. Well, and even her mama said that.
That's what I was just going to say. That conversation in society with her mom. And then every time somebody tried to give her a dose of reality, then she goes into this petulant child mode where she's like, oh, you're on Kyle's side.
And like, you're a grown woman. You don't need to be coddled like a child. You're trying to fight for custody for a child. You cannot be a child fighting for a child.
Right. Because that's exactly how she acting right now. What you got, Trish?
I agree. I mean, it's a little unhinged. Um, you know, Kyle's made a lot of really stupid mistakes too. I think they're both just acting extremely immature. And whenever I watch Audra, when she's dealing with either Kyle or Summer, I just see her looking at both of them going, oh my God, why don't y'all just get back together and just go away?
Right.
Y'all deserve each other.
Mm-hmm.
She's just over it as far as I can tell. And why would she put up with Summer coming at her for any reason? She didn't do anything to Summer. Kyle came to her. Kyle was exiting his marriage. Of course, sure, wait till you're not married anymore, of course. But everybody knew they weren't going to stay together. He knew she wasn't going to stay with Summer. She knew he wasn't going to stay with her. They all knew. Everybody knew. So why is she so hateful toward Audra? Just leave her alone. Why are you even going there?
Yeah, the other part of this is not just that, because that's crazy in itself, but then you want sole custody.
Makes no
Because
sense.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. She wants sole custody to take this boy away from Kyle. And the other reason besides Audra that she keep bringing up is the fact that Kyle want to move into his own place.
That's what I was getting ready to say. That makes another thing makes no sense. So you're telling me that you expect Kyle to live in that house with his dad and his mom for the rest of his life, or until Harrison is 18 and moves away from college?
Right.
Because that's what he's used to. As if people don't move multiple times in their lives.
Mm-mm. It's the fact that she has easy access to the Abbott mansion. If he were to get a place, she would still have to check with him and won't know who's all in the house, who's all around her son. And that's the issue that she has with that boy moving out the house.
So you think it's a control thing?
I think it's more, I feel it's a control thing. And plus she wants to make sure there's no other woman. I think it's the fact that there's another woman that he can get close to and get close to her son. And she won't have the access of opening the door, like tucking him in or staying for as long as she wants to, as she has at the Abbott mansion. She would have to check through Kyle, and Kyle would easily shut her down. And then what is she going to do? Yeah. So she's really picking a fight about him leaving at the house because she won't have that access.
That's a good point. But, and I agree on both points. Because, yes, she wouldn't have easy access because pretty much Jack and Diane let Summer come and go. She can stay in one of the guest rooms if she wanted to. She has a lot more access. And like you say, Bree, him having his own house, she don't have keys to his place and everything. She has to check with him through everything to get access. And she don't want to have to do that. Or any other women that he choose to bring around, whether it's Claire, we know it's not Audra, or anybody else. On the flip side, like Keish was also saying, to add on to that, it's like, but adults move. They move.
Yes.
This is a grown man with a child. If he chose to get his own house, he should have the right to get his own house. Too bad you don't have the access that you want to have like you have over at the Abbott Estate. But I do understand, Bree, where you're coming from, though, because she's trying to control who's coming in and out of his space.
Yeah, exactly. And those are the two convenient women that's around both Kyle. Well, around Kyle. Claire is around both Kyle and Harrison at this moment. So for whatever reason, she feels the woman that he previously slept with is more of a threat. Mm-hmm. Because if they had that contact before, they can have it again. So I understand why she's pushing so hard with Audra. But once again, they're divorced. Mm-hmm. So if he wanted to, he could do it with 1,000 women every week if he wanted to. But she needs to be very clear as to if she wants this man. And I'm glad that Phyllis kind of grew up in today's episode and was like, look, you can't even be saying this stuff to Chance. Right. You have a whole man and you're talking about your ex-husband like this? Exactly. Like, what does he think?
Exactly. And I mean, I've seen some comments on my recaps under that whole episode that they was talking about how Chance is really being that, and I don't want to say passive, But he's allowing this woman to talk and rant about her ex in front of his face. He's giving her good advice because he kind of talked her down, to say, hey, listen, I've been through this with Abby. This ain't where you want to go with this. So I
Right.
appreciate the fact that he took his own, because she did the same thing with Chance. Oh, you're on Kyle's side. And he was like, I'm not on nobody's side. I just know what it looks like because I went through it with Dominic.
Mm-hmm. And he looked at her half crazy when she told him, "Oh well, Kyle wants to keep the arrangement as it is, and we co-parent together." He was like, "Okay, that's great." She's like, "That's not going to work for me." He was like, "Are you serious?"
Right. Yeah.
And he was like trying to figure out what the end goal was. That it's she, same way Katie does, needs to be very clear that you want that man.
Mm-hmm.
You got two grown people need to come together and just have an adult conversation instead of being childish by putting a child through this.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, Summer has a man. Kyle is not even in a relationship right now. He's just working. Mm-hmm. He's colluding with Victor, but he's working and taking care of his son. Summer, you got a whole man over there, and you worried about whether Kyle got somebody? You got somebody. Chance is a good dude, but still, worry about your own relationship and stop trying to figure out who's coming in and out of Kyle's life. It's not your, right. It's not her call.
I mean, look at that picture of Chance right there. She is like just dumping all of that, and she has this delicious, fine-looking man right there.
So fine.
I mean, it's crazy, that, I mean, he's looking at her like he wanted joint custody. Because the way that Summer has been spinning his story is that Kyle is trying to take the kid away from her. Now she has to say, and she told that to her mom, well, Kyle said he want to keep things as is, joint custody. And they both looking at her like, okay, so what's the problem?
Right. It's the fact that she don't want the woman that he slept with around him so they can continue to sleep together. It makes me wonder if she's insecure that he can like get another woman pregnant or start a whole new life or something with the whole other woman. She just needs to just be clear about her feelings. And I'm glad that Phyllis had kind of put the mirror back on her. It's like, look, you need to dig deep before you go deep into this custody battle.
Yeah. Well, who else went deep into something, which was Phyllis trying to confront Victor, talking about don't screw over my daughter or else. And I'm sitting up there like, what you gonna do? With Victor Newman.
I mean, she still hasn't gotten him back for what he did to her with Jack and the fake Jack.
Exactly.
Oh, Marco
and Shelly. Yep. And he just laughed at her because she was trying to put fear into Victor, and Victor was like, okay, whatever.
Honestly, I really do. I wish they would have Phyllis do something that really did do something bad to Victor, just so she could get retribution for that. That was a horrible storyline. I hated every minute of it.
Yeah, well, it's going to be even worse because, spoiler alert, next week, Victor is going to try to exploit Jill's health condition for that company.
No.
He's a piece of work.
Yeah,
but I mean, we knew this.
I mean, and the stupid thing is Michael's going to help him, and the fact that he can't get the information in a conventional way. Victor tells her, use your wife to get to this information, and Michael is willing to go through Lauren to get what Victor wants.
So he can get back into Victor's good graces.
Absolutely. And then Michael was like, okay, so now are we cool? And he was like, nope, not yet.
Oh.
It's pathetic.
He really was. For that. I can't believe he's still basically begging Victor to be friends with him again.
I know.
He'll be begging Monday's episode.
Ugh.
I don't understand why Michael turned his life around. He got his law degree. Okay, it might not be the boku of dollars that Victor could give you, but do your own thing in peace.
Sometimes money's not worth it.
It's not. But just go ahead, Bree. Who was that, Bree?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to say that he on a $1 million retainer each year that he worked with Victor.
I think so.
And his wife is a multi-millionaire. So what is it? It's not the money. So what's his issue? Why Victor?
I don't understand. It's a very weird dynamic that he is trying so hard to get back in his favor.
Mm-hmm. What's the attraction?
What's up with that? And I'm not saying it's anything, alternative or anything, but just the mere fact that he's going to even use Lauren don't want to have nothing to do with that, but you're going to use Lauren to get to her sister so he can get to that company. Because remember, Lauren and Jill are sisters, so that's how he's using that connection in order to get the information for Victor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody need to do something about that, man. I'm telling you. And then we had, because I know everybody ready for bowl. We had Alan and Tracy come back. Alan is just absolutely adorable. He is
so adorable.
I know. He said, wherever Tracy is, that's where I'm gonna be.
Snaps for Tracy.
Yes. Tracy got a man. Oh, I was so happy by this. Good for her. I love this. But this is the highlight of this week.
Yeah, pretty much. Sure.
And they better leave it alone.
I know.
They better not make him Martin. There was no time to change those shirts.
But I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be so mad if they try that.
We've witnessed faulty writing this week. Let's not.
Yeah.
No more. We know what's going to happen.
I hope that's not Martin. Now, some people were saying they were picking up on some things because when they got to the Abbott mansion, remember Alan has been there before. And when Alan, I'll just say that, came into the Abbott mansion, he was looking at the place like he's never been there before. Did y'all notice that?
Yep.
No.
So he came in there, he's looking around like, oh my God, this is so, and I'm looking like you have been there before. You were there with Ashley.
That's gonna make me so mad.
So, I mean, maybe it's a situation where, the way he was acting, but I'm picking up, I'm like, why is he acting brand new in that house? Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to that episode and get into I don't know what part of, I think it's toward the middle of the end of that, toward the second half of that episode, when they walk into the house, when they arrive back to Genoa City, and he comes in there looking around like he was just fascinated and brand new being there.
Let's not be surprised. But I think it's Martin. But I mean, for now, we'll say it's Alan.
Yeah. So I hope that please don't mess this up. But knowing them, they could twist it and make it Martin.
They're never going to let Tracy be happy.
Mm-hmm.
She was supposed to be happy with her husband that she moved away with, and then come to find out he wasn't a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's supposed to move on with Kane, and they didn't let that happen.
No.
Nope. Yep. So we shall see. We did see Billy trying to grill the two of them. I'm like, Billy, be quiet. You got issues in your own relationship.
For real.
Your girl done cheated on you. With her ex that you don't like.
I mean, Billy just has issues, Ship.
Yeah, I mean, Lily don't trust him. Nobody trusts him. Chelsea is being evasive. But he had an interaction with Jack at the bar because Jack did not like him using the Abbott name slapped up on the company.
Which, to me, I'm glad Billy spoke up for himself and his last name, because it is his last name.
Right, but the thing.
And
Go ahead, Trish.
I was just gonna say, and I still think it's stupid that it's Abbott Chancellor. It should just be Chancellor Industries. I'm just that's just a ridiculousness. But he does have a right to his own name.
But the thing is, he keep using Jill as the couple.
Oh. Yeah, but we know he never meant that.
Exactly. And so that's why Jack called them out on it, saying Jill hasn't been an Abbott for years, and she was only with our dad for a short period of time. This is about you. So instead of him going around saying, I'm trying to protect my mom's legacy, dude, you're using your mom as a cover because you really wanted the company for yourself.
Yep. And it's not even her last name.
No.
Nope.
She only had that last name for a short period of time. That's it.
Right. When she was married to John, married to Jack.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. So yeah, he needs to chill out. But with firing Lily next week, he's going to be a one-man show. I don't think Jill is going to be happy about that. And Jill not knowing that Victor is coming for her. Oh, I just can't stand the fact that he's exploiting her illness, though. Oh, my God.
Everybody is, evidently.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, did we cover everything for Y&R? I think we did.
I think so.
Because I know folks are ready to get in the bold. All right. Before we switch over to bold, we got 140 people in this chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button, pretty please. Also follow on the other platforms, Instagram, TikTok. We have a Facebook group, of course, here on YouTube. Threads. There's a blog on Medium as well, and Rumble. All right. And how many likes do we have? I know is Vicky in here? Normally she'll tell me how many likes.
56.
How much?
56.
56. Okay. Can we get it up to 70? That'll put us at a 50% engagement. So let me get about 20 more likes. I know some people that are not commenting. They're ninja watching in the background. Make sure you hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. And so without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the bold and the beautiful, because I know folks got a lot to say. All right. So for the bold and the beautiful, for the week of August 12th through August 16th, Poppy's arrested by Chief Baker as Will voices his doubts about Poppy to Liam, and RJ worries about Luna if Poppy is the killer. Hope is drinking a lot of champagne. Donna is starstruck, and Steffy gives a speech as Pam gripes about scantily clad models at Eric's party. Finn is horrified as a very drunk Hope kisses him while Danny is singing, and Bill considers running another paternity test. Finn confronts Hope furiously, plans to expose the truth to Steffy as Bill and Luna get the result from the latest DNA test. And then Luna kisses Bill after discovering he's not her father. And Taylor returns to LA before Finn tells Steffy they need to discuss Hope. All right, let's start at the beginning of the week, because this is where the arrest happened. Katie was on her soapbox about how she's trying to protect Bill and how Poppy is dangerous. Lieutenant Baker came over there with the evidence and the backpack and hauled her off to prison. And of course, we saw Katie talking to Ridge and all of them at Forrester. They don't believe, that Poppy is. They still think Sheila is behind it. But Katie is running around talking about how Poppy altered the test. And I'm like, how many times people got to tell you that Lee ran that first test? But anyway,
okay.
Who's going off first?
I have a theory about the whole Lee doing the paternity test, but we can cover that when we get to that part of it because I don't know where you want to start, and I just hopped in because I got super excited.
Yeah, the Lee conducting that paternity test happened a couple months ago, so you can throw that in now if you want to, if it adds into this week.
Okay, so what if Luna actually faked her side of the paternity test and somehow had different DNA on her swab, and she's the one who made herself Bill's daughter? And what if Lee didn't even know about it?
I don't know how that works. How would that work, though?
Oh, I don't know.
But I mean, hey, it's a theory, I guess, right? But
yeah, it's a hypothesis.
You silly. Because what they showed us, and I keep replaying it in my mind, is Poppy brought a test. It was open. Lee showed up with a sealed box, which was the test. She says, I'm conducting this test because I don't want any questions. She wanted to make sure that Poppy didn't do anything. That was the reason why she came over there. Because Katie was the one to tell Lee when they was over at Forrester. And then she went over there with her own test. We saw Lee did the swabbing. Lee swabbed both cheeks. Okay. And then she ran the test. So for them to kind of how are they going to connect this is my question.
I don't know.
Okay. Go ahead.
Only thing I knew was that this man was not her daddy. I knew it. Mm-hmm. As far as the swap, I'm like, all four of them were in that room, and Lee was guarding that test like a dog. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how? Unless either Luna or Poppy got a hold of the test from that unopened box and had messed with it. Because I found it really interesting how Poppy had an unopened box. So it was like almost as if she was trying to set something up because she knew he wasn't the father. So when Lee did the test, which I think was faulty or given a false positive, she had lucked out, or either her or Luna, or actually Luna could have switched it at that point in time because no one's really suspecting Luna. Lee had her eyes set on what Poppy was going to do, and she was talking about what happened with Sheila and all of that good stuff. But Luna was right in front of it. I don't know. It's just, why didn't they do a blood DNA test?
So she could kiss him.
Beyond me.
I don't know. It's just weird to me because I agree with all of that, Bree, is that she was guarding that test. She ran that test and everything. But the writing of it, it was like, Katie was running around there saying that Poppy had altered it. Like, there's a lot of people in the chat that's saying it's a false positive, which I think that's more believable than what they're trying to push. You know what I'm saying? Because even Bill was like, well, we had to question the test. He was even questioning whether Poppy did something to that test. And I'm like, do you realize you were in the same room when Lee ran the test?
Right. I agree. I don't think Poppy did anything to it. I don't think she is guilty of the murders. I don't think she altered that test. I think she truly thinks that Bill is Luna's dad.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to give her. I'll give her a public apology. I know it's not Poppy, y'all.
Okay,
Bree girl, you've been on Poppy's tail.
I know.
She was guilty until she was innocent, which was today when I saw her raggedy daughter. Just my question would be, what happened to that unopened box? What happened to that particular test? Did they throw it away? Did they push it off to the side? Because I feel like that test box would still technically be in play in that case in order to make him the father. It had to have been switched somehow. But once again, a definitive answer would have been a blood test, which is why, where are they getting these grocery store box DNA tests from so quickly?
Yeah,
and consider those reliable.
I know some form of DNA tests do, because and this is not a sponsorship, because anytime you mention brands, I have to say that. But I know with the ancestry thing, they can take your DNA and link you to other people who are biologically connected to you. So, because my daughter did one of those about 2 years ago, and she found out that she had several relatives, different places that, we had either, well, some of them we know, of course, but it's just interesting that by, just taking a swab, sending it in, and, putting it up against other DNA, you're connected to this person. So I guess even though a DNA test like that don't exist, they probably try to pull the idea from some other things that are out there. But I agree with you, Bree. They should have had a blood test. We've done blood tests on both shows before.
He had all his kids confirmed with a blood test.
Yep.
Why was this different? Which is why I knew out the gate that there was no way that this man was going to be her father. They set it up as a finicky situation from the get-go. And I saw a comment from Black Pink Me saying she thinks that maybe Luna or Lee, they could possibly working together. I thought that at first, but Lee had no idea the DNA test was even going to happen until, once again, RJ ran his mouth and said something.
Right.
So she rushed over there to administer the test. Poppy already had an unopened box.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where a lot of my doubt, as far as like Poppy finessing this whole thing and trying to make it seem like Bill was the father. Now that I'm thinking of it, Luna could have the same access to that test too, and the one that was unopened by her mother. That's why I'm wondering if they're going to go back into those scenes, because they really need to do a replay or go back or something to where we see either the test switched, or they say like, okay, the test that Lee did was faulty, or something, because this is absolutely bizarre. It's the same type of test, but it's like, at what point was it switched? At what point, it's just a mess.
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me is wondering if they just threw some stuff together to create this storyline, because it just does not make any sense.
Mad Magazine storyline. I'm telling you, remember whenever they'd say, okay, pick a verb, okay, pick a noun, and you'd fill in the blanks and everything?
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting around a writer's table doing that game with these character storylines. It's crazy. Makes no sense.
It just makes no sense. I mean, we've been dealing with this particular storyline since January, February of this year, until we took a break to send Thomas off to Paris and Sheila Carter and Sugar and all that stuff, and then they brought it back to the forefront in June. But
it's like a whole different show, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, they kept going all over the place because they hinted it at being possibly Finn. Then some folks, here on social media and the rest of us, we maybe thought it was Jack. And Poppy was like, Bill is not the father. She was adamant about that the first couple months of this year. And then when they rewrote the storyline, they had Tom stick around, because Tom was only supposed to be around for a few episodes to save Sheila. But then they threw him into this who's the baby daddy storyline. Which, okay, now the man is gone. If Tom is her father, which I don't think Tom is her father. I think one of them Finnegan men are. I don't know. It's just weird. It just looked like they have been throwing storylines up against the wall to try to see if we can connect some dots and make it work.
Yeah. It makes me feel like they don't know what to do with the Nozawa women in general, because this has been like the focal point of their story on the show so far. Mm-hmm. And like the whole narrative of Poppy being a gold digger, that's the only narrative that we really know. And come to find out, she had like a whole, like, I guess, clothing boutique. Like, why didn't they have her work over at Forrester? I think Keishi had mentioned before, it would have made more sense for Luna to try to pursue Rich because she wants to pursue a career in fashion, and he's like, there's and on top of that, they don't interact with any of the other characters on the show either. Mm-mm. So this is all that they're stuck with, is this whole DNA testing and trying to find out who Luna's daddy is for almost 7-8 months now.
Shoot, since the beginning of the year.
Yeah. And this is the result. And the thing is, she still don't know who her father is, unless she does know who it was.
Yeah.
Because we don't know if it's technically Tom. Mm-hmm. We don't know if it could be Jack or a whole other person. Mm-hmm. And it's like, they made it utterly clear that it's not Bill, especially since after, what we saw at the end of the episode today. But it's like, what are they doing with these characters? I'm really confused now.
Yeah. Okay, so before we kind of jumped ahead in the week, because I know the stuff with Poppy happened on Monday. When we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, we had the Y&R and B&B crossover. And I was glad to see Pam. Pam was hilarious, and she had her little sidebar conversation because the house was overran by Logans, and she was telling Steffy to do something. Donna, I'm like, you do realize that's your husband sitting right there while you acting like a 304 to get to Danny, and Danny got a whole girlfriend, so yeah.
Yeah, just being a fangirl.
I know, but it was weird though.
It looked like Eric didn't know where he was half of the time that whole episode. He just is happy to be anywhere. So I to be honest, I was really happy to see Pam and Donna in their scenes together. Like, I miss that interaction because I love their scenes like years previous, both actresses together. Mm-hmm. So I was happy to see that. I'm sorry, but Danny and Christine served their purpose whatsoever. Being over at Forrester, what was the purpose? Mm-hmm. I would have rather have seen Tracy.
Rather have their partnership.
Yeah, they did have a collaboration with Forrester, but they could have did that, but or on a phone call or something. I don't know. I mean, the lip syncing. I think Jay Money was talking about that in the chat about the lip syncing of the song. I'm like, and the dancing. Everybody was just I think Carter was on beat though, so.
Carter was the only one on the beat. I don't know what dance choreography the rest of the cast was doing. And poor Hope. She was struggling, as she always does, trying to find a beat, trying to find a rhythm. She just dancing with the air. Ridge, he was doing his little 1-2 step, and I don't know what. Once again, Eric just looked like this lost in space. He didn't know where he was.
I know, right?
It was just a mess. And then, of course, the lip syncing. Yeah. It was the lip syncing for me. And I'm like, he went from one GCAC to Eric's GCAC just to do this.
Mm-hmm. What y'all got, Trish and Keish?
I'm so tired of them having these big parties that is literally just the Forcers and the Logans in Eric's living room. Mm-hmm. Like, they couldn't have thrown in some more extras to walk throughout the house, to go in, in and out the side door where the pool is. Like, can we get a little more to these parties? Because
you sound, hey, Keish, you sound a little muffled.
Is that better?
Yes.
I don't know. The party setup is lacking. But
it's lacking in a lot.
Yeah. I just wonder how hard is it to get extras to fill in some of those spaces so it actually looks like a party and not just people there to entertain the Forrester family, right, and the Logans. I don't know. It was cringy. Like you said, the lip syncing, the dancing was all just a little too campy for me.
I had fun watching it, and the reason I had fun watching it is because I'm just gonna let y'all know. I know one of every single people that was in that room trying to dance.
I will say, I actually enjoyed Donna in this episode. I thought
Donna was adorable. Donna was adorable. Yeah.
And I love when her and Pam interact.
I did too.
The weird thing, though, was that I feel like they gave a speech like every 5 minutes. Somebody was giving a speech. Mm-hmm. It's like, how many speeches are we going to have tonight?
Right. Now, what about Hope? Every moment that she could, she was trying to make Steffy uncomfortable talking about her mother.
That was so annoying. And the thing is, and you would think, so like from the spoilers last week, it said something about Steffy seething at the party or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even that. I mean, yes, Steffy was standing around with, a bothered look on her face, like she didn't really want to be there. But even throughout this whole thing, even though she was reluctant for Brooke to be put back in the spotlight, she always maintained that she's going to do what's best for the company. She wanted the bedroom line, the campaign to be successful. She was happy when the numbers were coming in and they were getting like all those orders. She congratulated Brooke.
Yep.
There was not one time where she said, "I want this to fail."
Right.
Never.
Nope.
She wanted it to work because she knew it would be what was best for the company. And yet, all week and all last week, all you heard Brooke and Hope say was, "Well, let's hope Steffy likes this," or "Let's hope that Steffy isn't upset about this," or "I don't know what Steffi's going to say," or it's like
they're projecting.
Yeah, but you haven't heard Steffy say, other than her initial feelings of not wanting the campaign. Once her dad said it's happening, she accepted it.
Yep.
I mean, was she jumping for joy and chanting Brooke's name like Hope was doing? No. But she was still positive about the success of it. Yeah. And they were making it seem as if Steffy was still, being negative about it. And it's like, what do you want this girl to say?
And I got to give kudos to Steph as well, because when she gave her speech, she gave a little bit of credit to her dad. She gave a little bit of credit to Brooke. She gave some credit to Carter, and she gave some credit to Zende. She wasn't going to make this only the Brooke Logan show.
Bingo.
Because everybody that she mentioned had a hand in working this to make it successful. I mean, Zende had a whole camera taking pictures of her in her lingerie. I mean, he was the one that put the campaign together.
Yeah, he did. That's what I don't get about all the Steffy haters. I mean, yeah, I get it, the whole Hope-Steffy rivalry and all of that, but again, I have to go back to that whole campaign that Katie and Brooke and Donna were in the swimsuits and by the pool, and Eric was there, and there was Steffy on the sidelines, over a decade ago, cheering them on. Oh, they're beautiful. So I just no, it's a no. She does the right thing. She stands actually, I think, on a higher level of integrity that Hope does, because Hope's been lying to herself for ages. And as far as that whole dancing debacle, whoo, man alive. Annika played that part really, really well as like a sloppy, not quite drunk, but had too much to drink spew. You know what I mean? You see that kind of light and flighty and rubber bandy,
Mm-hmm. it was giving Elaine from Seinfeld.
Yep, I agree.
But even Elaine was on beat with what she was doing.
Elaine was spastic on beat. Hope was just Hope.
Right. Exactly. Now, once everything started to wind down, Steph had to step out to take that phone call, and this very drunk Hope, not even 2 seconds that Steph walked out that door, she pulled Finn to that corner and kissed that man.
She assaulted him.
The way that she pranced over to him as if her and Finn had been having some affair, and she was just so confident. She was just so confident about what she was getting ready to do.
Yep.
It was so funny.
And the thing was, I thought when I saw the spoiler photos before this aired, I thought maybe everybody was out by the pool or in another area, and it was just the two of them somehow. Maybe he was standing up there. They were still around the other side of that wall dancing and singing. She did not care. Right.
They were 8 feet.
What you got, Bree?
I'm just upset at the fact that this is why I keep saying she's a failed 304. Because what are you so upset for? What are you so bothered by? She had the gall to kiss this man in Steffi's granddaddy's house, her daddy in the other room, her cohorts, all these people in the other room. All the gall in the world. And on top of that, before she was kissing this man, she was all over basically stalking Steffi, saying, like, you're going to say something nice about my mom? Like, my mom did this for us, right? You should give a praise to my mom. And I think she also was talking about, like, well, Hope for the Future's got the backing from our CEO, right, Steffi? Just annoying and stalking this woman.
That was nuts. Did you see the way everybody around the room was looking at Hope? And Steffi is like looking at Hope and then looking back at Brooke and Ridge like, what are y'all going to do about this? Like, this is really happening right now. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing it?
Yeah. I mean, Brooke saw it.
I did love the one part when I think it was her, Ridge, Steffi, and Finn, and Hope is like blabbing on about how, you know, her mom is this and that, and she's done all this great stuff, blah blah blah, with the campaign. And Finn looks at Steffi and says something about her leadership and how her being co-CEO also contributed to the success or whatever it was that he said. And then she just kind of had that little goofy look that she gives. Because nobody ever compliments Steffi on her leadership. Not even, I mean, her dad will every once in a while, but I don't know. I just like that Finn chimed in and gave his wife a compliment.
Me too, because Steffi's the only reason that any of them have the company to begin with.
Yep,
that exactly. Is true.
Somebody argued with me online about that this last week.
Oh, really?
Like, no, she didn't buy that. She didn't. I'm like, she's the only reason that Bill agreed to even do it. Like, it was the whole, and he didn't know it was for them. He thought it was for her, that company that she put together with the initials. He was not even figuring it out. Yeah. And it was like, why like, go, what show are you watching? Why are you arguing? I couldn't believe it. It was like, please go watch it again and come back and we'll talk.
Right.
I was going to say that's season 23 or 24.
Yeah.
Which is online, y'all.
Yep, and she got the most shares too. But I think she's tied with Eric.
And only because of what Stephanie did in her will.
Yeah.
If not, Eric wouldn't have the same amount she has.
Yeah, that is true. So,
because he'd only have the 12.5%. Because Donna took the other 12.5%.
What did you guys think about Brooke's conversation with Steffi?
I was so annoyed.
I was totally.
Leave her alone. Like, okay, she get it. Can she enjoy the party? First, her daughter is stalking her. Now you got to follow her around the party saying, like, I hope we get along, Steffi. I mean, you see this, I appreciate you giving praise for my lines, Steffi. Like, y'all want a cookie from this woman. Y'all just want her to be on your bandwagon so badly. Leave it alone. Not everybody has to like you.
Yeah. It's true. It's like you can see the the mean girls at the table going, "Join us, come over, sit with us. It'll be fine."
Yeah, she
crazy.
I mean, granted, I'm glad Finn was there because if Finn wasn't there, she'd be looking like she don't belong there because everybody else was just focused on themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
and even Steph said, I'm so glad that you're here with me on this thing. And I mean, it's just, you would think her dad would at least come up and interact with her for a little while, or say, hey, we did a good thing, this is great, something. He was glued to the hip with Brooke most of the night.
Yeah, my Logan. It's like Victor saying, my baby. It's the
same. 3-syllable sentences, right?
I know. Oh my goodness. All right. So we moved past the kiss. The next day, I was very proud of Dr. Finnegan because he gave Hope some facts. Now, I gotta say, at least he took a little bit of accountability, all that massaging and all that stuff. He was like, you know what, I shouldn't have done none of that. I should have just listened to my wife. He should have listened to Lee, too, because Lee tried to tell him, too, to stay away from Hope.
He did.
Yep, but he gave Hope the business. What was y'all thoughts on that?
Oh, I was thrilled. I was worried. When he called her into the office, I was worried. I'm not going to lie. But the fact that he chewed her out, spit her out, told her about herself, this is what we've been wanting and needing from Finn for months. But the fact that we got it now, it took him a while. But he jumped on the train. He realizes, like, okay, maybe my wife was right. He actually said it. We heard it out of his mouth.
Yeah.
It was a relief, in my opinion.
All right, who's next?
I agree. I have been saying for months now, I've been wanting Finn to say to Hope, my wife was right about you. And he finally said it. And my concern wasn't necessarily that he was going to, I guess, backtrack and start developing feelings for Hope. My concern was more so because Finn is such a softie. I thought that maybe when she, started her doing her little tears and asking for forgiveness and talking about, how she's been going through a rough time, that he was going to feel sorry for her, and that was going to convince him to not say anything. On top of the fact that Steffi had told him before about the conversation between her and Brooke, and how she wants them to get along. I thought he was also going to think about that and think to himself, I don't want to ruin that progress that they seem to be making with each other by telling her what Hope did. And I thought maybe he was going to think, well, I don't want Hope. I'm not interested in her because I'm not interested in her. Nothing's going to happen. So Steffi doesn't need to know any of this other stuff. I'm so glad that that's not what he did.
Yeah. What about
because he stood in that office and he was like, I'm telling my wife. Nope. Yep. I'm telling my wife. Nope. Steffi has to know.
Yep. What about you, Trish?
Oh man, I was cheering. I was like, oh, I'm so excited about this because the look on Hope's face, she knew. I mean, she knows that she has absolutely blown it. She has lost a friend. He's not going to be in the same room alone with her again. I mean, he shouldn't. Maybe he will. I don't know what's in the script, but he shouldn't be. And her basically asking him to lie to Steffi. She flat out asked him to lie to his wife. And knowing full well what he said about, Steffi told me I should have listened to her. The look on Hope's face when he said that was like, oh, that knife just got twisted. Steffi was right about you. I mean, and he said it with such contempt and disgust and disappointment. I was like, oh, Finn, man, this is like, you can act, dude. You can act. You did. I mean, that was awesome. It was great. Yeah, I was so happy.
And I honestly wish that they would give Tanner Noblin a little bit more edgier storylines because we've just seen him in a more passive role. And I gotta say, and Bree always say this all the time on this platform, that maybe they listen to the podcast because there was one word that he used in today's episode that we call him a people pleaser. And when he said that,
peacemaker.
A peacemaker, yeah. And so I'm like, because we definitely have been calling him several different type of names.
Yeah, and we've all said he needs to stop with the peacemaker crap when it comes to Steffy and Hope.
Yep.
And that's what he told her. He was like, "I'm done playing peacemaker."
Yep. But I thought he used the word people pleaser.
Oh, maybe he may have. I don't know. I just remember him saying specifically peacemaker.
I think we said them both, though.
Yeah, he might have said them both.
But he's been listening to the podcast. He's been listening to Keisha primarily. I will say that because he really got it together.
I was on the edge of my seat, like, hold on, this is literally everything I've been saying about him.
Right.
Y'all nailed it, man. Y'all nailed the whole thing. I love this. This is so fun.
Oh my goodness. Man, he did it 2 days straight. We got a little bit from Tanner yesterday, and we got even more from Tanner today. I was like, Hope think that she's going to be able to bat her lashes and cry those crocodile tears and say, oh please, the family war. Ma'am, you should have thought about that war before you kissed him.
Exactly. And the fact that she even said, I don't want this to ruin our friendship. You already did that.
Right.
You did that the moment you made the pass to him in the dressing room.
Yep.
Now, Finn should have cut her off then.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated that he initiated that small little conversation that he had with her in the CEO office when him and Steffy were getting ready to leave. I'm like, why didn't you just walk out of the room? Why are you talking to this woman like she is still your friend after she made that proposition to you?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, how can you expect this man to still be friends with you when you kissed him? And you knew that he didn't want you. He rejected you already.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's like, why now? Why are you concerned about what's going to happen now? Is it because you didn't get anything out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like had Finn reciprocated and kissed her back, that she wouldn't feel this way. She would just be happy that she got one up on Steffy, that she kissed Steffy's husband, and that she may be able to ruin Steffy's marriage. Which, either way it goes, you putting your career on the line. Because whether you get Steffy's husband or you didn't get Steffy's husband, she's going to take it out on you at Forrester Creations.
Yep. And I wonder, my question is, what is the reason? Brooke is not going to be happy about that. The new Brooke, because the old Brooke, she used to have Hope doing all types of stuff for her to undermine Liam from Steffy. But the new Brooke is like, you shouldn't be doing that. That's Steffy's husband. I'm wondering what she's going to say, Ridge going to say. We already saw a preview that Steffy confronts Hope. Does she actually fire her? Is this fireable offense? I don't know. I mean, I don't think Annika is going anywhere, but,
right.
It's going to be interesting.
Does fire her.
What'd you say?
Me too.
I hope she does fire her, and I hope that Hope winds up in a crumpled mess in the middle of her floor of that little cabin that she's in. I do. I want to see her lose it. I really do. She's going to play it so well. I look forward to it.
And you know what? And it's going to put Brooke in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to have to really choose between professionalism and her daughter. And it's also going to prove a point that she'll always have loyalty to her family and not what's best for business. And the fact that this woman also knew that her daughter was trying to pursue this man from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And was warning her and trying to pivot her in a different direction. She knew this. And as a result, this is what happened. So what is she going to do? Is she going to try to save her daughter's life, save her daughter's employment? Or is she going to try to go up against Steffy after just saying, we're not going to cause any issues for you?
Well, it's interesting because KH in the comments section said Thomas got fired for far less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So did Steffy. She got fired for a video she didn't do, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Twice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. And my thing is, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Hope wanted to go on this tangent to try to get one up on Steffy, thinking that she's going to read one of Mother's old dusty playbook. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is that better?
Yep.
Like, she wanted to go into her mother's old dusty playbook and try to seduce a man. She failed miserably in the lingerie in the dressing room that she had on. Mm-hmm. Then she get the liquid courage to try to kiss this married man. And now all of a sudden she went back to being the old Hope. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This isn't me. It was the alcohol. It was this. And Finn was like, no, you tried to pass on me in the dressing room not too long ago. It's the fact that she wanted to dip her toe into being like her mother, and then she failed miserably. And she came to grips with, like, look, she can never be like her mother. Luna can be like her mother, but she can't be like her mother.
Oh my goodness.
I'll disagree with one thing. I don't feel like Brooke knew that she was actively pursuing things. She just knew that Hope had feelings for him, but every time that they talked, she always told her mom, I'm not a homewrecker, I'm not doing anything, I'm not going to try anything. So Brooke doesn't know what she did in the dressing room.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so funny. It's like, I'm not a homewrecker. And then she proceeds to go try to wreck a home.
You know what? I'm wondering if Finn is also going to bring up not only the kiss, but what happened in that dressing room.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so too.
Yeah, I mean, give it the whole kit and caboodle, because when Steffi get ready to tell her dad and Brooke and all them that not only did she kiss my husband, but she tried to come on to him downstairs in the dressing room, that's not gonna look too good. So, yeah. What'd you say?
I said,
Nope.
I'm hoping what I really want, because they have not allowed Steffi to slap Hope, even though she has been allowed to slap Steffi. Mm-hmm. This would be the perfect time for Steffi to slap the holy crap out of Hope. I don't mean to promote violence. However, this is a soap and slaps happen. And
exactly.
Not too long ago.
I love the way you think, because that's one of the reasons we got on here and have so much fun, because the people we're talking about don't actually exist.
Right.
Yes.
Right. That is true.
Slaps were incredible, like on the show, especially like when Quinn gave that slap to Brooke. Like they need that sort of action.
Well, and not remember when Steffi slapped Quinn? When they were across the pond, that was also an amazing slap. Ooh.
Yeah, well, I remember that first slap earlier this year when Steffi slapped Sheila. I mean, man. Oh, was that a punch? No, that was a punch.
It was a punch.
Yeah, she slapped Sheila back in 22 or 21.
Was it the same tree she shot her?
She slapped her at the wedding. It was at the wedding.
Uh-huh.
Remember when Sheila crashed?
That's right.
Steffi slapped her at the wedding.
Yeah.
She deserved more than that. She had no business being there.
Yeah. Well, like you said, Keish, Steffi hadn't had the opportunity with Hope, whereas Hope has laid hands and things when it comes to Steph.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't she got pushed into a desk or something by Hope?
Yeah.
When she was pregnant.
She was pregnant.
Yeah.
I don't think Hope knew she was pregnant, but yeah, she pushed her into a desk.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, all right. Well, while that was going on, I'll just say Taylor, because I used to call Krista Tay. But Taylor's back. Rebecca Buddig, she's back in L.A. What did y'all think about that interaction? Because she was trying to give Steffi faith in her husband, but she was right. Finn ain't cheating. Yep. But go ahead.
It was odd, because this was the first time that Steffi has ever, I guess, suggested or maybe thought that Hope could be romantically interested in Finn, because before, her concerns were all about Sheila, and how Hope has accepted Sheila, marrying her dad, and is is supportive of Finn, like, wanting a relationship with Sheila if that's what he wants to do. It's all, the concern was always her influence when it came to Sheila, and not necessarily Hope, like, being into Finn that way. But in today's episode, that conversation with Taylor, it was almost like she was concerned that maybe Hope could possibly draw him in. I felt like she was coming from like a romantic point of view. I'm like, I wonder where is that coming from?
Yeah,
I wonder that too, and maybe because Brooke is trying to do all this like reassurance with Steffy, because she even told Taylor, "Look, I don't trust Brooke. What did she have to say?" Maybe she's always going back to that reference that like all the Logans are alike, and kind of referencing like, okay, is she going to be like her mother? So I think that's probably where it stemmed from. I don't think it has something. I don't think she distrusts Finn. I think she just knows how the Logans operate, especially when they're desperate for something. And maybe some things were starting to kind of click for her, especially when Hope said like, "Well, you should get what's coming to you," or I forget what the line that she was saying, or "You never know what's gonna." Someone needs to, get one over on you. Yeah, kick you down the side. Exactly. Maybe her wheels are spinning, thinking like, okay, maybe she's going to try to get me that way. And I'm glad that Taylor reassured her daughter of that. I'm curious to know if when Finn is going to share that information with Steffy, is Taylor going to overhear it? Because Taylor went up the stairs. He could easily come downstairs and be like, oh, Brooke's daughter did what? And then you got that interaction between Brooke and Taylor again. And once again, putting Ridge in the middle. So I can see that happening, but I think her wheels are spinning based off of the line that Hope gave her in that office the other week, or a few weeks ago.
I just hope that they don't bring the Taylor character back to get into a romantic triangle with Ridge and Brooke again. That's the part I don't want.
Yeah.
And if Katie is truly not going to get back with Bill, and who knows, Poppy might sail into the sunset. I don't know. I'm just guessing. We know I can't even fathom what we got to talk about next happening. But even maybe giving her a different romance with Bill, which would definitely upset Ridge, because he can't stand Spencer. So I don't know, just give us something where she's not caught up in that whole triangle. And you remember that we had they had the pact that they broke, and they were both trying to get the Ridge before the others. I don't want another round of that.
Honeycombs and keyholes and crap. Yeah,
putting them back in a triangle is just as frustrating and annoying as Steffy and Hope being in a triangle.
Yep.
I didn't consider this with Finn a triangle, because it was literally this has all been Hope's point of view. The only time Finn had any point of view was when he was in the presence of Hope, when she tried to make that pass at him. And then this last time when she kissed him. Other than that, this has all just been Hope in her fantasies and her talking to her mom. Because Steffy doesn't even know yet. I mean, she will next week. But Steffy hasn't known this whole time. There's been no fighting over him. There would be no fighting over him when she finds out, because Finn doesn't want her. You know what I mean? So this hasn't even been a triangle. It's just been a Hope.
A one goal. Yeah. It's been a one goal.
Yeah. Were you about to say something? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done, Keish.
No, I was done. That wasn't me.
Oh, go ahead. Was that Bree?
That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say they're gonna put this in a triangle. Probably not romantic, but it's gonna put Ridge in the middle, because once Steffy confronts Hope, obviously Brooke's gonna find out, and Steffy's gonna tell her dad, like, "Look, I don't want to work with her. I don't want to be around her. Let's give her the hope for the future," because that line is basically pretty much got one foot out the door. So I think it's going to put him in the middle. And I think Taylor's also going to try to push Rich towards Steffi's side. And we got all this love fest surrounding Brooke and him being all about Brooke. When he sees that Brooke is defending her daughter, I think it's going to make him feel some kind of way, because he's going to know that his daughter was wronged. And the fact that Brooke knew about majority of Hope's feelings for Finn too. Mm-hmm. And I honestly feel that that's probably the direction they're going to go in, and have it be like a parent war, same way they did with Thomas. Mm-hmm. But romantically, I really hope they don't do that. Let her do some chem tests with some other people on the show. Let's make things a little bit more interesting versus the whole Dusty Triangle that we keep seeing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So let me ask you guys this. So just say, because there's some conversations about Thomas maybe on the way back. If he found out that Hope did this, right? Would that be the nail in the coffin for him with regards to that?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. If anything, that might make him jealous. And he'll be upset for his sister, but it's another man that's attracted to her, or not attracted to her. It's a man that she's attracted to that she went after. I think that's going to make him a little bit jealous. I think it's going to put him more back in her realm again, because he still had strong feelings for her after he left.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't think he'd be jealous. I just don't think it would be the nail in the coffin. I think he would be upset with her for doing that because it's Steffi's husband. But I think given some time, like over the next couple months, all is going to be forgiven. Mm-hmm. Things that people are going to move on, and eventually they'll have Thomas and Hope get back together.
Yeah.
The question would be, would he come back with Paris?
Right.
Yeah. That's why I said it could be more of a thing. If he's single as a dollar bill, and the woman that he kept proposing to, that he was in love with, he shares a child with, even on his other man, I think that's going to make him jealous. If he's still with Paris, maybe not so much.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's some folks in the chat is like Thomas would be upset. And then I know, like you guys were saying, maybe it'll make him jealous, but it comes down to whether or not he's gonna marry Paris.
Yeah, I say more upset and disappointment than jealousy.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. All right, we gotta talk about after the paternity test. So it came back, as Mari would say in the case of Luna Nozawa, Bill, you are not the father. He is not the father. And she goes through this whole spiel about, well, what about mom? Do you think she's going to be okay? And she got this look on her face. And Bill is like, I'll always be here to help you. And they sitting across from each other. She hugs him. And then she goes in for a kiss, and he's sitting there. I'm surprised he didn't push her off like Finn did Hope. And he's looking in a state of shock, and I'm like, what just happened?
Right.
I think the whole entire soap world blew up in that moment.
Yeah, that was like we were watching it, and my husband was even like, are they really going there? Like, are you kidding me right now? Y'all should have heard him. And he never talks. Like, he's not me. He just watches, and then I comment, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But today he had something to say.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that definitely put a little bit of a fire on them, huh, Trish?
Well, it wasn't that kind of fire. It was like, ew, he's 40 years older than her.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the weird thing about it is I'm looking at the history of the Luna character. She came on as this innocent girl who was a virgin and gave up her V card to RJ, who he told everybody about. That man can't hold water. Um, he can't keep nothing to himself. And then that whole crazy storyline with Zende and the mints and her drinking the alcohol and she didn't know who she was sleeping with and it happened to be Zende. And now you want to push up on Bill Spencer 2 seconds after you found out that he wasn't your father, but 2 seconds prior you thought he was. You was calling him dad. You was calling him father. And so this is the weird part about this, and I kind of brought this up in our group chat earlier. How did you switch that off so quickly? Did you have feelings or find this man attractive before the paternity test?
Right.
How did you?
I mean, it's possible.
Oh,
I'm just
because it's only been a few weeks since they thought that Bill was her dad.
It's been a couple months.
Has it been a couple months?
Yeah, June.
Yeah, because it's before Tom had passed.
Yeah, it was in June. They started this whole thing in June.
No, it is August, isn't it?
Yeah, time is flying.
2 months. 2 months. Out of however many months that she knew him, and before, like when they first met, Poppy told her that there was no possibility that was her dad. So it wasn't until months later that they took this paternity test, and only for a couple of months she's known or she's believed that was her dad, supposedly. So I don't know. Not making excuses. It's gross. It's gross either way.
Yeah, that's the part that got me. I know, like, who was that? Trish was talking about the 40-year age difference. That's a part of it. My thing was, how did you switch hats so fast?
Y'all, when he said, and now you're just a man. And it was like, boom. It was almost like if you ever watched that movie, The Stepford Wives, whenever one of the wives would actually finally flip into like the whole, everything's great, and oh, I'm a very lucky Stepford wife. It was that kind of a flipped switch, man. I mean, if you didn't pay attention to that scene, I encourage you to go back and watch it again because that was a flip. Like, who knew this young actress could... I mean, she's really doing a good job, and it's grossing me out.
This is like some Woody Allen sort of mess. The thing is, prior to today's episode, she thought she had nieces and nephews. She was happy to talk to her brothers. She was asking Bill, like, Dad, do you sing? Maybe I get this from your side of the family. Maybe I do this. And then it just completely flipped. And it makes me this is where I had to apologize to Poppy. Because I'm like, your trifling daughter did this. Your nasty, disgusting 304 daughter did this. And because I felt like it was really weird how yesterday, or actually after Katie had left and Bill and Luna were in that house by themselves, I was like, y'all are not going to go to the police station. I was like, Bill's not going to go and get his lawyers and call for a judge or like be at the police station. And as much as Luna was crying and saying like, oh, I need a rest. Oh my God, my mom is in jail. You're not going to go visit your mom? Like they both were just stuck in that house. I felt that was kind of weird. It's like they were perfectly fine just leaving Poppy there.
Well, and not only... Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, not only that, if it wasn't a Friday, which I know for us, it was late in the week, but if it wasn't a Friday, I mean, could she not get a bail hearing because Bill's really rich and he could pull some strings and he could get her bailed out? I mean, people get out on all kinds of charges, including,
well,
killing people.
You know what, Trish? That goes back to what Bree had always been saying about Bill and how he never said that he loved her. Did he really love this woman?
Yeah,
exactly. He hasn't even said that I love you to this woman yet. He didn't move her in and everything, and she was paying her 304 tax staying over there. Mm-hmm. But he didn't say that he loved this woman. If this was Katie, if this was Brooke, anybody that he loves, he would have been at the police station, contacted. I mean, he had access to the FBI, for goodness sakes. Right. But he's allowing the police to do their job. It's like, okay, well, it's in the police's hands. I can't do anything, but I'm gonna be here for Luna. He never gave a damn about Poppy. Never did. It was because that she was the mother of his quote unquote child at that point in time, or prior to today's episode. That's all he cared about.
Yeah.
So the fact that he even gravitated and wanted to be around Luna, which I understand he wanted to console her and everything, and it took him next to nothing to get that DNA test. But just the fact that he didn't want to reach out and check on Poppy, he didn't even bother to consider, okay, maybe she's being framed, maybe Katie's wrong, maybe this. Like, even Luna was like, oh my God, well, my mom's arrested. I'm going to be sad about it. I'm going to get some rest about it. She's not even going above and beyond to see about her mother. That was very suspect to me. Yeah. Especially on Luna's part. Because it's like, you're all for your mom. And when your mom truly needs you, you want to stay in the house. Mm-hmm. And then you do this. I think this girl set up her mother.
Yeah, and I was to go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to try to see if we can piece this together, because I know we was chatting about this in the group chat, and I'm seeing it across social media with that smirk on her face, which I got a big picture of that up there after she kissed him.
Ew.
I'm wondering, is she the one that set up her mom for this whole situation? And if you notice, prior to the kiss, she was talking about how her life has been, and I was from school to school to school, and we were never settled, and it's almost like she disliked what her mom put her through in her childhood. So is there some anger there? Plus, she never told the truth about her father. She brought that up. So could she be mad enough to set her mom up?
Yeah, I think that's what it stems from. And this is why I kept saying about when Poppy said, well, you don't need to know about who your father is. Like we're enough. I remember her saying that. I'm like, you're going to live to regret that. And obviously she's in jail now. Like, you can't do that to a person. Especially if they want to know a piece of them. And plus, you don't know what mental state that person is in when you say stuff like that, too. So I feel like this Poppy kind of set herself up, just assuming that her daughter was just going to go along with all of this. But with her moving around, saying she moved around and she was barely, like, she was with her mom, but her mom was like trying to take care of her. She, didn't have any friends. That does to a lot of kids' mental state. I mean, look at Lucy over on Y&R. It goes to show you cannot just completely shut off that other part of your child's, being. She wanted to know who her dad was, whether it was a football lineup or a whole stadium, whatever. She could have, tested out whoever so she can know. You don't wait till the 11th hour to figure out who her dad was.
Yeah.
I honestly think she knew out the gate that Bill wasn't her dad. I really, truly believe that. And I think when those results that Lee did, I think she just ran with it. I think both Poppy and Luna ran with it. She knew there was no possible way that could have been her dad.
I think Poppy actually believed it now. Remember the conversation she was having in the prison with Lee?
Uh-huh.
When she...
Great scene, by the way.
Yeah, I like the fact that they brought the two sisters together.
Yeah, I do too.
But with the whole thing with Luna, did she set her mom up because of the fact that she was angry, or now this is an added benefit to go after Bill? I don't know. I just find it weird. I find it interesting how Lee made the effort to go see about her sister, but her daughter couldn't see about her mother. Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, she was seeing about Bill. So
this right here, and it adds up. It makes sense unless she had somebody that she was working with. I feel this is a 2-person job still, y'all.
But who would
really
she be working with to help set her up? RJ or somebody? He pissed or Zende?
No.
It better not be Zende. I want Zende far away from this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I got my theories about that whole night, about those men too. But I honestly feel she was working with somebody because we still haven't seen Jack.
Here's the other question. If Luna did do this, where the heck did she get the stuff that she laced her mom's mints from? Where you get that type of drug?
If her mom was an active user back in the day, I wouldn't put it past Luna to have partake or gotten a hold of those party favors. Because look at Lucy. Lucy was able to get a hold of her mother's liquor cabinet like it was nothing. So I wouldn't put it past Luna to have access to whatever her mother was taking. And once again, this is why I feel that this is a 2-person job. Because if we think about it, like, Jack was also at that hospital. He could have had the same access that, the other doctors had. He was married to a doctor at one point, so he would know what to say, how to maneuver in the hospital and everything. I feel
maybe Lee is working with her. Maybe Lee is working with her. Lee got access to it, and when you a doctor, you got access to all types of stuff.
But when all that took place,
she was there. She was there the night Tom did that thing. She was also there doing a DNA test, and she was shocked by those results, same way Poppy was shocked by those results. Or was she faking?
This is a mess. This really is a whole mess. And you know what? It would be great writers, if you're listening, if this was a 2-person job with Luna and Lee told Luna, like, look, Jack is really your father. And she ruined our family, or whatever the case is. So she set it up to where it's Bill and put Poppy behind prison to get payback. That could also be a possibility. I'm not saying that's what it is, but the writers are listening. That would have been a great alternative.
Yeah. What y'all got, Keisha and Trish? Anything?
I don't have any theories because I'm just completely lost.
Well, I know you. I know you're totally disgusted.
Oh yes, I was definitely disgusted. That was.
Yeah.
I don't think that Bill was going to reciprocate her feelings, but I also never saw this kiss coming, so who knows? But I've always, when it comes to like the age difference thing, that has always bothered me. So like back in the day when it was Steffy and Bill, I thought that was disgusting, and that he was like he's 25 years older than her. This was like 100 times more disgusting. And in my opinion, if this isn't something where they intend on like making them a couple, then that kiss was so unnecessary. They didn't need to do that. It was just, I threw up in my mouth. It was so gross. I don't understand why Bradley Bell thought that this was a good idea. I just don't.
Yeah. What you got?
I would have. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Trish.
No, I was saying, yeah, I was agreeing. I'm sorry.
Trish, you got anything?
I mean, I'm just, I'm grossed out too, Keish. I get it. I don't like that. I don't know why they would think that was a good idea. I don't have a theory other than, my little flippant remark earlier about maybe Luna changed the test or something herself. I don't know. But they need to do it quick because we can't have this kind of stuff dragging on.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Bill is going to throw her out after this. I can't see him signing up for this. I mean, it was crazy enough a year and a half ago when he signed up to sleep with Sheila Carter. You know, I mean, to have a scenario like that, yeah, I mean, I would presume that Bill is like, pack your things and you're going to have to leave. The question is where you're going to go. They're about to demolish the apartment.
Right.
Rednecks, he asked me, he was like, what are Luna's motives? She was explaining to Bill about how she moved around. She didn't have much. Her mother put her through so much, and he's blessed her with such an amazing lifestyle and things she's never seen before. So her motive was just to keep that intact. I think J Money had also pointed this out too. Like, she had RJ, who was already a rich boy, but Bill is a billionaire. Mm-hmm. And that already comes with a lot of prestige, a lot of everything. So she would never have to worry about breathing, pretty much, because that will always be taken care of. But her motive would to be get one over on her mother and say, like, oh, you say I didn't need to know about who my father is? Okay, fine. I'm going to take the man that you have. And I'm also going to have the lifestyle that you have dreamed of for yourself with all the rich men that you try to attempt to have and you're on your roster too. So I'm curious to know what she's going to say on Monday. Mm-hmm. Because I think in the preview she was like, I know you weren't expecting that. Nobody was expecting that.
Right.
Right. Let's just be clear, huh?
Yeah. But I think there's a lot of resentment towards her mother. And once again, I think this is a girl who might be mentally troubled with a lot of daddy issues because she's been asking and crying about who her father is and wanting to know, and her mother kept shutting him down. That's why I was always on Poppy's neck when it came to that, because it was so wrong. You don't know what that would do to a girl. Yeah. And then here he is, and he's, checking all the boxes as far as like a father figure. But I guess she threw that away, and she said, like, okay, but as my man, you fill all those same boxes.
Yeah, but and I'm just like, girl, does she actually think that Bill is going to be like, okay, come on, let's go?
I don't know. You got to see that on Monday.
I know. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is like 2 degrees of separation between her and her mother. He was just in bed with her mother several times.
Yeah.
Kissing on her. Everything.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on the fact that she flipped the script. I can't believe she flipped the script and went from calling him and thinking that this man was her father to, I'd rather be in an intimate way with you through a kiss. That's weird to me. It's cringy. It's borderlining, and I know it happens on this show, the underlying incestuous storylines. So
that is the DNA, the blueprint of this show. This is all they do. I was saying in the chat earlier that Brooke and her own mother were in love with the same era. They were in love with Eric at the same time. And then she ended up having a baby and everything. Like, all they have done is blurred lines. Same with Thomas and Brooke. Same with Ridge and Bridget. Even though he thought he was her father at one point too. This is what B&B does best. They do a lot of shock factor, especially when they want to try to get people talking about the show and get viewer interest in the show, because whether you love it or you hate it, you're still talking about it. That's still good for them on their side.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So exactly. And they listen to the podcast, and we've been complaining about we needed a twist forward the story. They need to move some stuff along. They definitely stopped us in our tracks. We're talking about it. It's trending over social media and everything. So I feel this is like something same way they did with Thope last year. They do a lot of shock factors. Why it's called bold and it's not so beautiful, but it's beautiful for their ratings.
Well, they could have kept this one.
What you say? Oh, she said they could have kept. Yeah, I'm just not. Yeah, it's so many ways that this here is just cringy to me. So
yeah, Cheryl Hines, exactly. Rick and Steffy, Rick and Phoebe, and then Rick and Taylor. They blur a lot of lines.
They could have kept all that too. That was gross back then as well.
Yeah. They always push the envelope with that stuff, and I guess it's just going to come down to what happens next. I mean, yeah, we got a little bit of a preview of her saying, you wasn't expecting that. Okay, Bill, what you gonna do?
Right.
I feel like there's plenty of other ways they could have given a shock factor. Having this girl who thought this man was her dad suddenly, I guess, crush on him,
right,
and kiss him was like this was all you could come up with.
Right.
To me, that reads as lazy.
Yep.
It's Cynthia Chain, right? Katie and Wyatt. It gets Steffy. Yeah, Steffy lost her virginity to Rick.
Yeah, and that has always been disgusting. I've always hated that they did that to her.
Same.
Like she was with Marcus, but they had them break. They broke up Marcus and Steffy, put her Rick, and that's who she lost her virginity to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm still pissed about that one.
And Marcus is
them doing this crap in the past does not make any of in my opinion, does not make any of this kind of stuff that they're doing now. To me, it doesn't make it okay or more entertaining or better because they've done it before. It's still
worse. It makes
it
worse.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, technically, Marcus is her uncle now. So she dated her.
That's not the same though.
She dated both of her uncles.
That's not what it was when they were dating.
Yeah, but I mean, she can look back and be like, "Oh, I dated."
You know what? I would have rather, because I don't know. This paints Luna into a corner. I mean, what direction you gonna go with this girl if unless she's leaving the show or something? If it come to find out that she was the one that took out Tom and her friend Hollis, I mean, this is diabolical on her part. She set up her mom, put her in jail, and you took out two people. If she's that, what do you do with this character? Is she done? I mean, you pretty much is crash and burning the character. I would have rather, if you were going to keep her around, get pissed off at RJ for telling everything and maybe break up with him, because a lot of people presumed that she was going to break up with him. Well, in this particular scene, she ain't thinking about RJ.
Exactly.
And then there's Will, but I think Will is 19, so maybe he'll be a little bit younger than her. Maybe she would be interested in him, but they could have figured out something with Zende. I don't know. But I don't know what's going to happen with this character. I see short term for this.
I'm glad that you brought up RJ.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't mentioned him, even to cuss him out. I would have been perfectly fine if she was going to ring his head in for even sharing that, because if he didn't share that to Katie, her mother wouldn't have been arrested, right?
Right.
But she's perfectly fine with her mother being in jail. Has no thought about calling RJ. Even if she wasn't going to cuss him out, she could have been like, okay, I need some support from my boyfriend that she was crying about and crying over, thinking that she lost him at one point.
Mm-hmm.
It's her actions. I'm thinking all the way back to how she came onto the show. And I think it's been calculated from the beginning, because she didn't even want to tell her mother where she was going to be. And her mother was trying to tell her, no, you need to leave. You need to leave LA or go leave the Foresters alone. But she was adamant about being an intern there and working amongst all of those folks.
I guess to me though, if her end goal was to snag this billionaire, I, or just somebody with money in general, you had two Forster men.
Yep.
So now she's getting ready to throw all that away to go after Bill, who probably is not going to reciprocate.
Right.
And now you probably, if this comes out, RJ isn't going to want to be with her.
Oh, absolutely not.
Mm-mm. Brooke would not allow that.
Right.
And she already told Zendaya that she's not interested in him. So,
and that's the other thing. Even though she might see whatever this interest in Bill sees her, or at one point maybe still, as a father figure. Even though he's not the biological father, he still sees this girl as his daughter in so many words, and she's coming on to him like just a woman interested in a man.
And that's how he's felt about her from the moment that he met Poppy, or reconnected with Poppy and met her. He had always complimented Poppy on how well she did with raising her, and how basically he wanted to be there for both of them, because he knows that the issues with not knowing her dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always presented himself to be like a father figure to her. He's always looked, to me, it seems like he's always looked at her that way, as a daughter, and nothing more.
That is true, because even he was trying to see if he was Luna's daughter, or if she was his daughter several times, and Poppy kept shutting it down. So he always had a inkling that she was a part of him, or he wanted to be a part of her life in a very big way like that. Mm-hmm. And didn't he give her like advice when she was like in the apartment after the stuff with the mints happened, and Poppy went over to Finn's house to try to convince him to like tell Luna not to worry about who her father is, or whatever the case is. But he was been there as a father figure, so I would find it to be shocking if on Monday he completely flips. Ooh. I can see if she had daddy issues and she doesn't know what to do with her feelings, and maybe she is lashing out or whatever the case is. I even though I still think she did the unalivings, but if he flips, they have really changed the whole like blueprint of this show and Bill's character.
Yep, I agree. Ooh, did y'all get it all out?
Yes. Yeah, I think this woman has planned everything from the jump. I don't even believe, I think she knew who she slept with when she slept with Zendaya. I believe all of that.
The other thing, was she even faking about being a virgin?
Come on now.
I mean, if
she was in front of RJ.
Because, I mean, she was supposedly so torn up about what happened with Zendaya, and this is not me, and you were my first, and all this, and then you're going to go straight to the top by going after the stallion?
This is why I've always felt like her character, and I think we've all said this, her character would have been much more interesting had she come onto the show as a troubled young lady with daddy issues, free-spirited, bouncing back and forth between RJ and Zendaya, and not the way that they try to portray her all this time up to now as this virginal, innocent, sweet young girl. I'm not saying that she had to, she could have been a little bitch. That would have been more entertaining than what we got, in my opinion. I didn't feel like we needed another character who was like a Hope type character. Mm. I think she should have been more like Amber, a little bit of a troublemaker.
And I feel like they're kind of doing something like that, because they definitely need an Amber like character on the show. And if you guys remember, when she thought she was pregnant after sleeping with those two, I feel like she was trying to set something up by sleeping with both cousins back to back, because they're both rich men. And I think when that fell through, it's like she moved on to something else. And I feel like from the jump, she's been trying to get with a rich man, like Lee has been saying about her own sister, saying like all you know is rich man. Maybe she learned that from her mother. It's something is really off with this girl. And I think from the jump, since she came onto the show, and her mother being completely against her being around the Forresters or anything like that, she has been adamant about getting amongst his family and being around his prestige. And I think she's just using the innocent act, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Well, Monday, the spoilers are out for The Bold and the Beautiful. They said Bill is shocked by it. Okay, shock is one thing, but what you gonna do about it? Mm-hmm. Are you gonna kick the girl out? Hopefully they don't have him sign up for this just to, drive the fans insane.
Oh, rednecks. That's a good point. He said Bill didn't look shocked when Luna kissed him. He seemed like under the influence of Poppy's mint. That's an interesting perspective.
I don't know. I mean, that would be another weird twist to this craziness. I just don't like what happened with this whole thing. I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna ask the chat because I did a poll both on YouTube and I also did one. Well, I did it in the community tab, and I did a poll on Instagram. Let's do a poll in this chat. For those who like this twist with Luna, drop a 1 in the chat. For those who don't like this twist, you find it cringing, you don't like it, drop a 2 in the chat. So 1, you like the twist. Trish, you put 1.5. Oh my God.
Hold on, you said 1, you like the twist, or 2, you don't like it.
Right.
Okay.
I'm with Trish. I'm a 1.5 where I will like them changing her personality from this. If she's been faking this sweet little innocent persona this whole time and she's really a little psycho. I like that part of it, but the Bill stuff they could keep.
Okay.
Yeah, that for sure.
Well, we got a whole bunch of overwhelming 2s in the chat. I see a 1. There's a couple of 1.5. Allison and Mark.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Sandy.
Oh my God, y'all so funny.
1.5 all the way.
Yeah, I mean,
where is the half coming from?
Me.
I guess 1.5 would be. I'm surprised and I'm shocked at the twist, but it is a little cringy.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 1. I think this is what the show really needed. They needed a jolt, especially for viewership, and to get fans talking about it. Not necessarily if they like it or not, but it sparks interest. And once again, I feel they feed from a lot of the comments. And when people like your platform, T, I feel that they do listen and to try to help shape the show and see what the viewers are interested in. So I feel that this was something that they needed to try to get our attention because we're talking about it. It's been talked heavily since the episode aired. Mm-hmm. So I feel that this is part of Bold's DNA. This is what they've been doing since the start of the show. So this is, to me, it's nothing new. It really isn't. But I feel it's interesting to see what the direction is going to go. And we really are trying to anticipate what's going to happen Monday's episode. And we haven't felt that way in many of the episodes with Bold. But now with this has got our attention.
Yeah. Well, we will most definitely see. So, all right, let's move into our final segments. Our Flip the Script, who's taking seats, and Star of the Week and Pickle of the Week. So, for all of the newbies in the chat, how many people we got online? At one point, you said, Bree, it was like 170 in here.
It's been 180.
Really?
Steady.
Nice. All right. I know it's a lot of new people, whether you're in the comment section or you're in the background ninja watching. Please subscribe. We do this every Friday. We do have a little bit of a midweek chat on Wednesday. There are recaps and spoilers and all that other good stuff. I do standalone videos as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you hit the like button as well. How many likes we got?
94.
Oof, okay, that's pretty good. Can we?
Thank y'all.
Yeah, that's.
Thank you.
You said one. Yeah, that's actually a little bit more than 50% engagement. So, continue to hit the like button if you have not. That is awesome. I am glad that the show is growing by leaps and bounds. So, let's talk about flipping that script. So, for all of the newbies, the flip the script is if there's a particular scene or a storyline that we wish we could change, that's where we flip the script. So we're going to start with the Young and the Restless first. And who want to go first with their flip for Y&R?
I guess I'll go. I'm looking at Chance when Summer was talking about her ex-husband again. I was hoping that Chance would be like, look, why don't you go be with your ex-husband? And he go after Lily.
Oh.
Dang.
Dang, girl. That's a good one. All right, who's next?
Keish?
I didn't pay attention enough to have.
Oh yeah, she was like zoned out on Y&R this past couple weeks.
Oh, that's right. Okay, all right. My flip the script would have been for just because this story is. I see the picture and I'm thinking of it right now, but it would have been kind of cool if Lily actually would have listened to Phyllis, which we know she never will because she can't stand her because of all the history with the family and everything, and Drew and all that. But it would have been kind of cool if she would have actually had someone she could talk to that didn't have skin in the game, kind of thing. You know, would have been nice to see that.
Okay. My flip would have been the next time somebody gave Summer the truth and she goes into that petulant child act, I would have left her right there where she was. Because the coddling, I think that was the perfect word. Every time she hears something that she don't like, she goes into this petulant child mindset where people got to coddle her feelings. Nope. You deal with it then. Don't come to me with this nonsense. And then she threatens to walk off and all this other. She's very manipulative with her reaction. Because she wants people to back down and go and go with whatever she says she wants, even if it's wrong. I'll be like, nope. You know what? If you don't want to hear the truth, then that's on you. If you end up losing Harrison in this custody battle, that's also on you. So that would have been my flip. What's your flip on Bold?
Ooh-wee. Oh, that is gracious. I guess my flip would be I wanted Lee to walk in on Bill and Luna.
Ooh, we
leave the. And she was talking about checking up and see, like, hey, Luna's going to be okay. We'll make sure she's all right. I would love for her to have walked in and see Bill and Luna kissing.
Wow. Okay. What you got, Trish?
I actually really wish that Steffy would have walked up on Hope and Finn instead of having to find out the way she did. Now, we'll see. I may think differently after we see what happens next week and the next week. But honestly, I really, really was hoping they were going to have Steffy see it.
Yeah. I wouldn't have mind Katie, since she liked to walk in and out of Bill's house. I wouldn't have mind seeing Katie walk in on Bill and Luna.
Oh, wow.
Katie would, first of all, she'd be looking stupid. Because all this time she'd been trying to put Poppy behind bars. And now it's looking like the one that you least expected was her daughter.
Yeah.
Katie would have lost it. Could you imagine even if Will walked in on that?
Ooh, oh gosh, that would have been good.
Yeah.
Because he's still thinking my dad and my sister.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it could
oh.
have been any of them. Liam could have walked in. I mean, Liam, Katie, Will, either one of the three of them could have walked in on there. And I would have been okay with that. Because I want to see the reaction to that.
Yeah, because it would have been cool if it would have been Katie and she would have said, Poppy, you're home. Oh, or Poppy, you're back, or you're out, or something, and then have Luna look at her with that smile on her face.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Did you got some, Keish?
Yeah, my flip for Bolt would have been actually telling Steffy that night, and then having Steffy go with him to his office when he had Hope come there and confront her that way, instead of Hope going to the office and it just being those two. I wish Steffy would have been there.
Yeah.
He confronted her about it.
Yeah, that would have been a shocker. Because if Steffi was standing in that office and she come running in there talking about, but Finn, and Steffi is right behind that door.
Yep. Oh, wow. That would have been fun to watch.
Hey, listen, writers, you need us to come up with y'all storyline.
You know it.
I mean, you've been using it for free, y'all.
I know,
So,
right?
Making little subtle changes here and there. We've been noticing. We notice.
All right.
Dude.
Did everybody get all their flips in?
Yep.
Okay, Young and the Restless. Who's taking several seats? So for this one, for the newbies, somebody that got on your nerves, that was doing too much this week, and they just need to go take several seats. So on the Young and the Restless, who going first with their seats?
Billy.
I
was going to say that too, Billy.
Yeah. And my girl Summer. I love Summer to death, but she needs to dial it back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was going to give Sharon a seat.
Okay.
And Chelsea a seat. Sharon, please take your medication, girl. Please take your medication. And Chelsea, she needs some form of relaxation because she's forever in panic mode every time we see her on screen.
Yep. I'm gonna give Cameron Kirsten a seat. I mean, listen, Lyndon Ashby, I know they gave you a little bit of something, but I'm not really interested in a person that has died being her alter ego and her conscience.
Honestly, T, I cannot disagree with you more. They cannot give Kirsten a seat, but they could put him back in the coffin.
Oh my God. Only Trish, boy.
Y'all know me. I'll take it to a whole nother level.
I mean, yeah, I didn't know why they were bringing him back. You know, I thought maybe he was not gone. But no, this man is gone. It's just in her head. It's like, really? Can we not do this? And he's still walking around with the bloody shirt.
Well, I mean, it would be really funny if they had, like, on the Twilight Zone years ago, whenever they had the people that had died but not died, and then, like, the nose would fall off, and then the ears would fall. It was hysterical and gross.
I know what you're talking about. I remember.
You know the one?
Yes. Yes. All right, who's next? Did everybody get their seats in for Young?
Yeah.
Okay. Taking seats on Bold.
My goodness. We need a whole bus so several people can take seats. For me, it's Brad, Bill, and Luna. Luna got me defending Poppy, and I don't appreciate that. And Brad Bell, he really went back to the old school blueprint, like the 1990s blueprint for Bull. And the shock factor, like, I appreciate it, but at the same time, this girl was calling this man daddy, and she thought she had brothers and sisters, she had brothers, and she had nieces and nephews and all of that. So that was kind of weird.
To find out she wants to call him daddy like Sheila.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, Luna want to take a seat on Bill. So
You.
Oh God.
Now, wait a minute. Who said, "Oh God"? Was that Bree?
That was Bree.
That was me.
Yeah. See, I guess you
her
don't
mother
like
just
that.
took a seat.
Wait a minute. I guess you don't like that twist after all, huh, Bree?
I look. It's the shock. It's just the fact that her mother just took a seat on this man not that long ago.
I know.
Several times.
That's how I had to paint a picture because that's how bad this is. Because in her head, kissing ain't the only thing that she wants to do with this man. So that's why I'm like, I can't ride with y'all on this one. No. No.
Yep.
Who else taking seats?
Did you guys already get folks a seat?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Keish.
No, I was just gonna say Hope.
Oh, okay. I guess I don't know. I think somebody said Katie already, but yeah, Katie was getting on my nerves to be all last week and the beginning of this week.
Yeah,
she's so extra.
Very much so.
I agree.
And maybe Donna. I mean, I know some of y'all like the fangirl act. It was just too much for me. I'm like, girl, go sit down.
I just thought she was just having so much fun.
She was.
I don't know. It was, to me, it was like low key disrespectful. I mean, oh, I love him. Oh, he looks so good. Oh, he looks so hot. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
He didn't do it for you, T.
Well, it's not just him. I mean, and I understand Eric is an older guy. Eric was just like, oh, okay, whatever. I mean, hey, I'm just glad to be here. You know.
Eric thought you looked good too.
Oh my goodness. All right. So our star of the week on The Young and the Restless.
The star.
Redneck's wife, I guess, confiscated his phone, so he said good night.
Oh, see you, Rednecks.
Stop getting in trouble, sir.
So, I mean, I'm going to give somebody that didn't have a lot of screen time the star of the week on YNR, just simply because her light was so bright this week, and I'm just going to say Tracy.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Really?
That's a good one.
I like that one.
Yeah,
that's a great one. Yep. I'm good with that.
I agree with that one too, because she was so happy. She was actually probably the highlight of the week, her and Alan. So I'll give the other one to Alan.
I really wanted to stay Alan.
Yeah, so they both got a star from us. All right, star on bold.
And for me, because the way he drug Hope those 2 days.
Oh, Finn, yep, same here. Yep.
Yeah, Finn went in on Hope. I'm like, when have we ever seen Finn do that? Now I remember he called Liam Little Puke, but
it's so funny.
With that one, and when he found out that Liam and Steffy slept together, and he
years ago,
because he told Liam, what did he say to him? He said something about I don't know, something about his ego and having no morals, and cheats on his wife. Oh, he cheats on his wife when his ego gets bruised, and he has no morals, and I don't know. He went off on him though.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, how long has Tanner been here? Like 5 years, 4 years?
It's been a while.
Well, he got married. Him and Steffy were married for 4 years this year. So
they've been together for 4 years.
Right.
They got married in 21.
Okay, so he's been on the show, what, 4 years?
Yeah, because he started during COVID, so he joined in 2020.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because he was kissing his real wife and a mannequin. That's
right.
That
is true. Yeah. Yep, I remember that. You're right about that. So, out of the 4 years, only 3 times he was able to stand up, I guess, huh? Okay.
But they were all 3 really good stands.
I know.
Yeah, he's had a few different confrontations with Liam.
He did punch Vinny out, though, too.
Oh, yeah, him and Thomas both.
That's right.
That was so funny. That was during COVID, too.
Yeah,
and it was so fake, but
COVID
Yeah,
was such a strange time.
it
It was
was.
hard. Yeah.
2020, it was weird for filming. We had actually had, and me and Keish, because we started the podcast in 19, and when 2020 happened, they cut the shows. We
Yep.
had nothing to do. It was like, what we
Right.
gonna talk about?
Talking about the reruns. At least we had the reruns.
Exactly, but yeah, 2020, oh my God, that was a weird year with the soaps. All right, who's your pickle of the week? Young and the Restless.
Oh, real quick, I was going to say the Zawa women were my stars of the week.
Oh, okay. Poppy.
Yeah, because that was a good scene between.
Oh, that was a good scene.
Poppy and Lee.
Poppy, Lee, and Luna, because they shot the whole system for me. So they talented actresses. Good job.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Young and the Restless pickle.
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Okay. Bree, Keish.
I'm fine with that one.
I'm gonna give it to Summer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This man wants to work this out, and she still is stuck on Audra for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty interesting on Monday. Oh, by the way, Audra ended up telling Nate that Victor is the mystery investor.
Oh, she broke trust.
Yep, she tells him on Monday.
She about to lose her job.
But you know what? She's having second thoughts. And I was glad because she thought that she was running this and was on top of the world. You'll hear how she truly feels now after all this has happened. I'm like, that's what you get.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't feel bad for her.
Nope.
This is exactly what happens when you work for Victor.
Yep.
Yep.
My star of the week for Young and the Restless. Not star, pickle of the week for Young and the Restless is Chelsea. Chelsea is, yeah. Because the thing is, you freaking out about something. It's like, get it together. Either tell them or move on.
Just be honest and tell them. Right. Because you did it. It's the truth. You may as well just admit what you did and get it over with.
Right. I agree. All right, who's your pickles for Bold?
For me, personally, the bad choreography.
Oh my goodness.
Was there choreography?
The lack thereof.
The lack thereof.
Yeah. They were dancing with the air as it moved. That's the pickle for me.
So did y'all see the video online of them doing the song without the music? Because, they always underlay the music. So they're literally doing it with no music, right? Mm-hmm. And they showed that on one of the Facebook pages. And I just had to laugh because that's why there's no beat. There's no rhythm. I'm sure some of those people have to have some rhythm in that room. Because Steffy does, because we've seen her dance in her Instagram videos over the years. So we know she can dance, but there's no music on when they're doing the scene. It's just the singing.
I need to find that.
That's why I need
to find that.
Yeah. It's a good one to watch.
Would make it look.
Yeah.
It would make it look a little awkward.
Yeah, that would. Because, if there's no music to dance to, then they just moving around trying to...
You're guessing. Yeah, right. You're trying to find it, yeah. Mm-hmm. But again, I still stick to the fact that I do know somebody of every one of those people in that room.
Oh my gosh. If I had to give a pickle of the week, I would give it to Katie again because she was getting on my nerves.
I'm with you.
And that's why I would love for her to be the recipient to walk in on Luna and Bill.
Right.
Because you have an egg on your face.
Hope is getting my seats and the pickle for me.
Okay.
Because she did all that bragging, all that talking to Brooke about how she felt like she knew Finn better than his own wife did, and it was her kindred spirit, and made all those made that pass at him and told Brooke, "Oh, I'm just having fun."
Girl, it is in your head.
Yeah, and now she wants to cry. Now she wants to whine and cry about Finn telling Steffy what she did.
Yep.
It's like, girl,
So you're rewarding her?
no, I'm giving her a pickle.
You're rewarding her with a seat and a pickle.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a
She gets
reward
both.
or is it a punishment?
Depends on how home sees it. It's been lonely. It's been lonely.
Yeah, depending on what kind of pickle you're giving her.
She getting a sour pickle in the corner by herself.
She might take what she can get.
All pickles must be sliced from now on.
Right.
I would have respected that character more had she went to Steffi, went to her face and said, "Yep, I'm trying to take your husband. What you gonna do about it?"
Yep, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
That would have been soapy.
Right.
Because that's the type of stuff they used to do back in the day. So.
Oh, y'all! I actually, I know someone who years ago worked at a restaurant, and they were dating this woman who also worked at a restaurant, and then another woman walked up to that woman and said, "I'm dating him now," and they've been married for 56 years.
Dang.
Wow.
She said, "I'm coming."
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, she said, "I'm coming to take your man, and we've been together for 5 decades."
Yep.
Wow. All right, you guys. Y'all got anything else before we shut it down?
No, this was fun, y'all.
Yeah.
Did we mention the when Taylor and Steffi were talking and they had mention of Thomas and Douglas?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that she mentioned them and she was spending time with them.
Yeah. I think
And
we
they talked
kind of
about
talked
how
about
happy.
it a little bit, didn't we?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, no worries, girly. All right, we are done. Stay tuned for the spoilers for the week of August 19th through the 23rd. I kind of dropped a few nuggets from Young and the Restless Monday episode. I would say it's pretty good. Sometimes this past week, it's been pretty slow, except for maybe today's episode. Monday is pretty good as well. So yeah, we'll hear Audra dropping that tea to Nate. We'll see the confrontation between Summer, a little bit of a confrontation between Summer and Audra. And the whole craziness with Victor trying to exploit Jill's illness, also using her sister Lauren, and Michael is, just to appease Victor, he's willing to do it. So
what a pawn.
I know, it just looks so bad. Michael looked like a major simp. So
Yep.
He will simp for Victor.
Yeah,
as they all do.
As they
including
all do. Mm-hmm. All right, you guys. Until then, we will see you guys later. Have a good night. Bye, guys.
Bye. Good night.
Have a good weekend, guys.
You too.
Bye.